Okay. Yes, sir.
I think that was the only time I shit myself. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to have to figure it out. All right, fools. Welcome back to Two Shots In Podcast.
Woo.
I am Devvin Burgess.
Ginger Janae.
Frank King.
Will Davis.
Who's our producer? See, we're
And
still not
Paul
going to get it
Hamilton.
right.
Well, I have to reach all the way over
Look,
to unmute myself.
You made him. You made him have to flip
Still
a
had
switch.
to fuck it up.
Oh, my
I don't want to switch
I
it.
don't want to do that.
We're joined by Wilfred, a proud American. Good
yes.
man over here.
Yeah, he is.
Who also was
goods.
shot. Yeah, he's damaged goods, though.
Yep, damaged goods.
Wilfred took a round in our nightmare. But we're waking up.
Yep.
What did it feel like getting shot? Hurt, huh?
Well, felt like somebody was supposed to be hot and all of that crap. That's a bunch of bull. Felt like somebody hit me on the arm with a friggin' sledgehammer. So the first thing I thought about was dropping to the ground, grab the gun with my other hand, and made sure I had a round racked in the chamber.
Yeah, because you are left-handed, and that's
Yeah.
in your left arm. So yeah.
So what happened to the people that don't know? What not the incident, but where did the bullet go in? Where did it go out? What bones are now?
Yep. Well, bullet went in my upper forearm, bounced off my elbow, broke all of that shit up, and lodged in my
broke
bicep.
your
Elbow, yeah,
Shattered.
shattered my elbow.
So you just have a synthetic elbow now.
Not necessarily. Enough of the meniscus was left.
Oh, the meniscus, of course.
To where I didn't have to have any cadaver bone or anything like that.
Good.
Did you want any of that stuff?
No.
I think I might have wanted a little
Take
bit
that shit from him.
a little pig
He
bone.
won't need it.
I want to
Nah.
steal some laundryman's I want somebody else's shit in mine.
Well, there's enough pins, and when they said they're going to have to put pins and plates, I'm going like, it's your elbow. How you going to put pins and plates in that? And
They figured it out, didn't they?
And when it was all said and done, when I was getting my first X-ray, I asked the lady, "Hey, can I see that? I want to see what they look like."
What, the X-ray?
Yeah, with the pins. I wanted to see what the pins and all that crap look like, and it just looks
A
like
pin cushion.
It actually looks like little.
Probably so.
It looks like thread. Actually, they're so friggin' small. It looks just like.
So
threads
they're like needle size, like thin.
Oh yeah,
Really?
That's the way. That's the way it looked on the X-ray.
So do you have a new elbow, or is it the old elbow put together?
It's the old elbow put together.
Uh-huh.
So is this a compression sleeve you have on right now?
It is a compression sleeve, and they said they're gonna give one tighter later. I always thought with the swelling and everything, this stuff would be done in like 3 or 4 days, and.
Because I thought you had fat fingers before. Those are
No,
pretty
that's-
big.
those
That's like
are
sausages. now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Poor Will.
that's all a part of it. And I was telling my son because he's a doctor. Said like,
Is he?
"Dude, Yeah.
Was he at the hospital trying to
no
get in?
No, he actually there are so many people trying to get in, and
Yeah.
with COVID protocol and all of that crap, they weren't letting anybody in. The sheriff.
That's
was
why we
trying to
didn't
get
even
in.
try.
Yeah. So
I tried the first night or second night,
Yeah.
and that was when Aiden was already leaving the hospital.
yeah, Aiden left the same night,
Mm-hmm.
and I go like, because they were rolling me up, and they said, "Oh, Aiden goes, I'm going home." I go, "You lucky dog," because they
They had
first
doped you up at that point, right?
no,
You were still like no anesthetic or nothing at that point?
Oh, you're nuts! I would have been high
You
as a
didn't have a
kite.
button yet?
huh?
You didn't have a button yet?
I never got a button.
You didn't call the
What?
dealer or anything?
Nah.
I would have
'Cause-
helped you out, but
Yeah,
you
because
should have called.
what they did.
Wait! You just got shot and your whole arm's all fucked up, and they didn't give you anything?
No anesthetic?
No, they didn't give me any anesthetic.
What bullshit?
No pain medicine? What, Tylenol?
They took you to the VA? What the hell?
No, what they because it was, put it this way, it felt the same anyway. So basically, what they did, they put a splint on it first, and then after they put the splint, they took me over to do an MRI and some other X-rays and stuff.
All this with no pain medicine.
Yeah, and then they were saying,
Oh,
okay,
that would've
because
been a problem.
they were telling me,
I
oh,
want to
you
go on
got
vacation for a few hours.
They were telling me,
Not
oh,
going nowhere.
we're probably gonna put a splint on and send you home and have you come back and we'll do everything.
Oh, no.
And
If I'm doing
No.
like this, you better give me something to fucking take care of that shit.
no, they had
I can't get over that.
I
Yeah.
can't either. That's abuse.
yeah, they
Elder
after a
abuse.
while, after the MRIs and all of that stuff, then before they took me upstairs, 'cause
They needed proof, huh?
I guess.
Holy shit.
That's what Aiden sent that picture about his bullet being taken out.
Uh-huh.
And he said they wouldn't let him keep it.
Right.
Oh, they
Nice.
didn't let him keep it?
No.
That's what
And
I told
said,
them they
I
wouldn't.
said, I bet you the insurance company needs it to prove you got
No.
shot.
No, that's not what it's about, actually.
Did they let you keep any of yours, make a necklace or a
No,
dream catcher or
I
something?
do have a piece of mine left.
Pieces of bone or
I
something.
do have a piece of bullet fragment left in my arm. So, but no, they didn't let keep it because they said it has
Evidence.
has
But-
to go to the sheriff.
But did it go to evidence for the incident, or did it just go?
No evidence for the incident. That's where it needs to go.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And I don't know what they're going to do with it because it's kind of like after the fact. Just like they took all of our clothes, sent poor JP home naked almost.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And go like, well, I asked him just when we went to pick up our guns. I said, hey, what about my clothes? Well, they go, you can kind of like forget about those. I don't think you'll be getting those.
Yeah, I think
back.
they destroy them if it's got blood on it and stuff.
Well, yeah.
Because I couldn't get my my late husband's stuff because if it had one drop on it, I couldn't have it.
Really?
So they didn't give me any of his clothes or boots or anything.
That's probably where the Salvation Army gets all their stuff.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So, like I said, so bullet goes in.
Did
bounces
you
off
rest
that
right
bullet.
here?
No, right here. It went in right here.
Uh-huh. So
Bounced
you were
off
up
the
like
elbow.
that, and that's why it went in that way?
Yeah, because when we were
At least you're touching it, not crying because somebody
Yeah.
accidentally grabbed it.
Uh-huh. Thought the building was on fire.
with the finger in the bullet
He
hole.
stuck his finger in it.
Uh-huh. Jesus Christ.
He mentioned that again today, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I
Yeah,
appreciate
he
it.
did.
Well, at least you were trying to save his life.
That's
so-
on his face.
I was. I thought electrical fire or something was going on.
Yep. And just
Devin was cracking up because he's hitting the fucking smoke machine.
Making us all about to vomit.
So how many bones did it break?
Oh, dude, it destroyed the elbow.
The elbow was the main one.
Yeah, that's basically what it destroyed.
Did you, when it happened, did you know it was a big problem? Or did you think you just maybe got hit? And...
Well, I knew I got hit, and I go like, oh, this is probably not going to be good. But I was more worried about being able to stay in the mix to stop the threat. That was the most important thing to me. You know, the biggest thing out of all.
So when you left, you get to the hospital. You don't get X-rayed right away. Do you?
No, they're coming in. They're taking information, and they're actually, when we got, put it this way, they took us in the same bus. And for people who don't know ambulance, they took us in the same ambulance. We actually got to cause an accident on the way there because they gave us a police escort, and cars weren't getting out of the way quick enough. So I guess a couple of cars crashed into each other at
That's
Davis,
funny.
Oh,
Jeff Davis
gosh.
and Tulane. And the cops and our escort kept rolling. They go, okay, we could see the car smoking as we're going.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
shit, that's funny.
They pitted him.
Basically,
Get out of the way.
wait, we got shot people here. We got to get going. And so we get there. Since Aiden shot
And they
my
brought you
leg,
out of university, right?
yeah, Aiden gets, and they take him out. And
I think the president goes there if he gets shot because
Any gunshot wound,
such a
wound.
badass
Trauma center.
Yeah, they're
from all the
state of the art.
bullet holes they see.
Oh,
all day
absolutely,
long.
all day long.
I think they're one of the best trauma centers in the United States.
Yep.
Now, yeah.
Yeah,
Since
absolutely.
they
Probably us in
became fully
Chicago.
active.
Yeah, they are.
My daughter was involved in a car accident, and one of the girls got thrown from the vehicle, and she landed in soft mud. Actually, cracked her jaw, and that was it. Thank God. They brought her from Thibodeau all the way to university.
Yep.
Because she was thrown from the vehicle.
That's the thing they do. If you,
I wonder what the cutoff is. Like, if you get in a plane wreck in Texas, do they drive you all the way to?
Well, actually,
helo
he's
you.
saying that
Well,
when
in
Tokyo
Texas-
crashed, that's where they took the 2 guys that were with him and his body.
No
they took it
shit,
to university. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. The Coast Guard took them.
I
Yeah,
know
university's got a badass trauma center. I don't know if it's true. They said that the president ever gets shot or something.
He
if
would
he's
be
here,
going
he'd
there.
be going to university.
He would definitely be going to university. The doctor that worked on my arm, because when they first looked at my arm, like I said, they said, "Oh, we're gonna do."
Did it look
Fucked
like
up?
an arm?
Yeah, it still looked like an arm with a little lump right here and a little hole right here.
Yeah.
So it
because
didn't
I
hit
didn't
any
believe-
vital, like veins or anything.
Nerves
No
or-
arteries.
Y'all
or
got
nothing.
so lucky.
Elbow's
man.
pretty
God.
important though. But okay,
Yeah.
so it looked like an arm with 2 little holes in it.
Yep.
Were you trying to bend it?
They go like, no, we don't want you to move it. And
But I mean, up until that point where you're like, all right, I can work with this, or were
no,
you like,
I
my arm
couldn't.
is in
No,
pieces.
no, I couldn't.
Putting
I
pieces of
couldn't
your
move-
arm in your pocket.
No, I just couldn't move it. Like I
Yeah.
said, it felt like somebody hit me with a big maul on the
In the
elbow.
entrance, the exit, or the elbow?
The elbow.
The elbow,
Because
okay.
the entrance wound was nothing.
Uh-huh.
The
You stuck your finger
wound,
in the hole.
It was. It
Or
wasn't,
when you got there, they take your hand off and.
actually, the hole, I didn't bleed I didn't bleed that much at all. Because it went in, and just like it says, that's why bullet went in partially closed, and like I said, you could see this protrusion sticking out over here, just like on the Aiden's leg, and that was it. So they were going like, well, we're probably going to
Cut your arm off.
No, we're probably going to send you home, and we'll get you set up for surgery sometime next
We're going to
week.
amputate below the neck.
Yeah.
There's some holes in this will.
And so then they do the MRI.
Well, didn't
and
you get
X-ray.
hit too in your stomach?
I got graze wounds on the stomach and
Graze?
graze wound on the hand.
Really?
Yeah.
That wasn't from your elbow shattering and spraying you with
No.
the bones?
You
No.
think it was from a bullet
Oh, it
on
was
your
de-
hand
Oh, it was definitely
and
from
on your
right here. Yeah.
Not glass shattering or anything?
No, it
Boy,
was
everybody got luck. I mean, well,
Yeah,
not
because
it.
it went across the. It hit, one went across the finger, right, the thumb. Right
Really?
there. Yeah.
And you really think it was a bullet that?
Oh,
went
it
across
was
your
a
finger?
bullet. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And so
Dude, that's 2 grazes.
yeah, 2 grazes.
Wow.
And so they look at it. They said, "Well, we're not going to be sending you home tonight."
On second thought.
Thanks.
Yeah, and so get up there and said, "We're probably." Then I get up to the room. And they come up on Sunday morning. They said, "We're probably going to operate on this tomorrow because, it's probably going to be about 4 hours or so, and we'll get you done and get it." And Dr. V is the best, and he is the best. But
It'd be better if he gave you some pain medicine.
Yeah.
for the last
by
48 hours.
then they were giving me the narco and all of that stuff, and
Give me that button.
I want
I
a
wanna be able
button.
no button.
Like I'm playing Hungry
no,
Hippo,
it's,
beating that button to
it's-
pieces.
I wish, because the nurses come
In 5
in,
minutes, they
they
come back and like, I don't know.
They ask you.
I'm trying to do surgery on
Hanging off the
myself.
bed.
Yeah, they come in. They ask you, "Are you okay?" I go, "No, I'm trying to sleep," but they keep you up all night,
Yeah.
and they
Why?
They draw blood every day. They take your temperature 2 times a
Oh,
day.
because of COVID?
They swab your nose and stick some crap up your nose like a mop
Ugh.
every day. And
All for your elbow.
yeah, and then so that was supposed to go to surgery that Monday. So he comes in that Monday, says, "Well, you're not going to surgery today because we had some stuff happen on Sunday and stuff. And after reviewing your MRIs and X-rays, it's a little bit more complicated than we thought. So basically, we're gonna have to do your surgery in 2 parts." And so then I'm going, oh boy. So 2 parts. They said, yeah, basically what we're going to do is we're going to go in, we're going to clean out all the bone fragments and remove the bullet. And so they did. That was Wednesday. And Marge said I was there 3 or 4 hours. And then Friday, you know, I knew it was going to be a long surgery, but I went to the operating room at 5 in the morning, got back to my room at 7 at night.
Wow.
Ooh.
So it really was a little more complicated than they thought it was.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, Dr. V, that's what he told me. He said, yeah, I'm going to be working on you pretty much all day.
Mm-hmm.
You ever worried about somebody mixing up your chart and them cutting your legs off or anything? I would think about that sometimes.
No, because what they do, even when they splint it, they like, and they're going down and they're taking you for any test, anything. They write a big yes.
Yes.
They
That's
write
what
a
they did
big
on my foot.
They write a big yes.
Why?
Because they don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to little Derek on his arm when he got the pins.
Yeah.
Put yes on this arm, no on this.
Oh,
They go
no.
like, yeah, they don't want to do like the guy they did in
Well,
Florida.
you know, they
so
write that
cut off
yes
the
and
This
no
leg.
because
technology,
there's
They
been
screw
a
up.
few.
They screw up.
There's been a few that came out of there,
Yeah.
you know.
It
Yeah.
was his right hand.
And then they have to go and cut
Right.
then they have to go
Trying
and
to
cut
get
the other leg
cataracts
off,
and it
right?
comes
That's how
out in
they
a
say.
wheelchair.
That's why he was in there for 12 hours.
Yeah.
We kind of did it on his right arm. Now we're doing his left.
And then the poor guy comes out and tries to sue. He don't have a leg to stand on, right?
And then the insurance company bills you for both.
Right, both legs.
Seems that way.
Ugh. I think about that a lot when I go to the hospital. I'm so scared of the hospitals. And
I don't like
I told you
hospitals
Blair
either.
had tubes put in her ears.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so worried.
Well, at
that
least she
she
got
was
them
gonna
put in
come
both.
back with, you know. Yeah, she did. But no, I mean mix the chart up to where like,
Wrong kid.
you know, they turn
Take
her
her gallbladder
vagina
out.
into a wiener or something.
Yeah,
you
well-
never know what's gonna happen
well,
nowadays.
my
they might
13-year-old
transgender. I might get a boy when she comes
Yeah.
back with no tubes in her ears.
Exactly. My
So I'll
13
be
year
awake with now a boy
Send her
named,
back.
a boy named Blair
They
with
did it
no
wrong.
tubes.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of hospitals. Oof.
Yeah. When they found out my 13-year-old, she was born with a multicystic kidney, basically one kidney. And it was
How many kidneys do normal people have? Two?
Two.
Well, she seems to be doing all right.
Oh, she's doing.
What's a
totally
second
good.
kidney
Normal
for?
people.
Donate.
It's
Usually
backup.
it's for the donate.
It's for-
Oh,
back
all
up.
right. Well, she's normal then. Why do you have two kidneys? Do you know?
I would assume it's just in case
A backup?
one fails.
Yeah.
I think about that stuff a lot too.
Although I don't know how good you could breathe on one lung.
Right,
Well,
right. Well, I get
actually-
that. Two lungs is good, but two kidneys seems like a lot of work for nothing.
Yeah, and
just
nobody
like-
knows what the appendix is for.
Yeah, it's leftover shit from our.
Causes a lot
That's
of
when we used to
problems.
eat bark and stuff. And people were getting chased by big old cats.
That's why
eating
you don't
bark.
digest leafy greens, because they say that that's what your appendix used to be.
People used to shit themselves at the fair all the time.
All the time in
bet.
the best hiding spot.
I think about that. Hunting a
bet you-
tiger, you're 3 days in, you haven't eaten in a week.
What do you got to shit?
Well, this is true. This is true. I haven't thought that all the way through. Man, I wish I could think of the other time, because it was embarrassing. I think I was at a house party or something. What you showing me, Paul? Most humans are born with two kidneys as the functional components of what is called the renal system. Is that what that says on my glasses on?
No,
Which
you're doing
also
good.
includes two
Ureters.
ureters, a bladder, a urethra, and a partridge in a pear tree. The kidneys have many functions, including regulating blood pressure, producing red blood cells, activating vitamin D, and producing some glucose.
Yeah, I gotta
Right.
take vitamin D.
And giving you
Once a week.
stones.
Yeah.
You met
I
anybody
had
that had
those.
COVID in there?
Awesome.
Anybody
No.
was hanging on by a thread with that vid?
No, but there was a guy down the hall. He
To
was
the left?
always screaming and yelling because we all had private rooms, and the nurse, I'm going like, what's up with him? He go like, oh, we feel really bad for
We
him.
accidentally
'cause
took his legs off.
My dad died years ago. Couldn't have been him. He was a pain in the ass when he went to the hospital.
Yep, and so they were saying, yeah, he's in a bad way. Because they were actually, everybody was really just super, super cool. You need anything? You want anything?
You gotta pee? We need blood.
No, the pee thing, they, after the first surgery, she was like, well, you know.
Pull this thing right up to your face. There you go. Oh, he can't. He's got one arm. Help him out here.
No, I'm good. I'm good. So after the first
Look,
surgery.
put these on like this.
Yeah. Like, duh.
I'm ready for it.
Like this.
Grab that thing for me. I'm just fucking with
Yeah, I can.
Dev.
you. Yeah, the last guy we had on. Oh man, he had his headphones
Andre.
like backwards and like
Like
this.
this.
This is the guy in trust with my money. I'm such an idiot.
Oh, wow. But yeah.
Andre. He was a good guest though. What the hell are we talking about? Pooing on ourselves?
No, we're talking about
The
yeah,
crazy
after
guy
the
down
first,
the hall.
after the first surgery, the nurse goes. She goes like, because I never used the little bottle anyway.
With the pee in?
Yeah, so she goes.
That same friend that, not to cut you off, that poops himself and throws his drawers out the
Carries
window.
that in the truck.
Had no, but he
Oh.
knew he was going to quit a job, and instead of peeing in a drug test, he pooped in it.
Ah,
Pooped in a drug test. They said, we need your bathroom sample, and he pooped in it. Dropped the deuces and rolled out. I quit.
yep.
What a rebel.
I'd like to see that lady that got that.
Yeah.
She probably said, what the fuck, you idiot? You just shit in this thing. I got to wash my hands now.
No.
Man, this guy needs to see a doctor because it's hard.
Oh my god.
He's a trip. I want to get him back on the podcast. We put his podcast up the first time we did one in the old one, and he had some
This guy
issues
pees
that came
chocolate
up,
milk.
and we had to take it down. His
Yep.
family didn't like it.
Yep.
It was a good one. What the
So
hell
I
we
had
talking
that
about?
happen
Yeah, we were
once,
talking
actually.
about.
When I had a umbilical hernia repaired, and I was in
What causes that?
strain. I guess straining too hard. It
Oh, we're working out and stuff.
it punctures your like the wall of some shit. I don't know, and it starts coming through your belly button. Yeah.
What does? Your heart?
No, like the muscle and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It'll start
Oh.
pushing through.
But that it doesn't hurt though, right?
No.
It just looks like
Man,
it
that
hurts.
just seems like it would hurt.
Like I started, like my belly button started getting flat, and I was like, something's wrong. So
Well,
they
you got
said,
an
yeah,
innie?
you got a hernia. Yeah, they said you got a hernia. We're gonna have to repair it. So I went in and I'm laying in the bed after the surgery, and like every 5 minutes, this nurse keeps coming in. You got to pee yet?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. Why? What?
Did
So
you
then-
poo yet?
Probably wanted to
Another
see
5
a
minutes
wiener.
goes on for like an hour, and finally I say, what is the deal with having to pee? Why is that? You know,
she
why
thought
do
you were
keep-
Bruce Willis and you wanted to
She
see
goes-
your wiener.
Well, if you don't pee in the next 5 minutes,
I got to call the police.
we're gonna have to catheterize you. And I was
Oh,
like,
no.
Let's go.
I got up and went and peed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I said, if you'd have told me that from the first time, I would have got up.
I drank
would.
more water, you psycho.
well, during
I
surgery,
got
they
180
catheterize
seconds
you
left.
anyway.
You stick this rod in my wiener.
You know that.
a
Right?
balloon.
I didn't realize that.
You had to get catheterized?
That's what they told me because I go
You
like.
mixed your chart up.
She goes like, she goes like, hey, to get your bladder going again, you know, you're probably gonna have to get up and go to the bathroom. I get up and go to the bathroom anyway. She says, oh, okay, that's good.
I've been getting up and going to the bathroom since I was 8,
yeah.
I'm a big boy.
which is true, by the way.
So
8.
Yeah, that's what I
But
was
then,
thinking.
but
Eight?
then,
8,
but-
9,
and of
11.
course,
Hey, I knew this woman who breastfed her kids. One of them was 8. He
Oh,
walked
yeah?
up, lifted her shirt up, and
No,
just,
weird.
that's not happening. No, no.
She was still
Mom,
making
I'm
milk.
hungry.
Jesus Christ.
No.
That's rough.
No, you gotta pump it and just put it in a cup.
at 8?
No,
If
you
you're
gotta
gonna
hit him
do
in the head with
that-
a hammer.
No, I mean, I wouldn't do
Like-
it at 8, but I'm saying if you're gonna do it,
You've
and
been
there's
pumping
still
for 8 years?
You gotta drop him off at the bus station with $20 or $40.
Mom, I don't have any milk for my breakfast.
That's fucked up. 8.
Hey, honey, I need milk
if
for my
they're old
coffee.
if they're old enough to ask for it,
Right.
you know,
Well,
I think that's too old.
you know, you're talking about asking about peeing and all of that. They keep asking you every day, did you pee? Did you have a bowel movement yet? I'm going like, is it important?
There's no catheter for that.
She goes, well.
So what happens? You just-
kind of, and she said because
So
you
what
know,
are they worried about, though? They're worried about
So
something
you
else?
can get impacted, and they'll have to go in there and
Yeah, but what
pull
the
it
fuck
out.
does that have to do with your elbow?
that's they do. I don't know.
Charity Hospital is losing points by the day. You got people screaming in the other room. They're worrying about your butthole.
That's
when
university,
when your
not
elbow's
charity
broken.
anymore.
Yep.
Oh.
No, the
So
screaming.
what do they want, though?
The screaming guy. No, they said because of taking the Norco and some of the other
Oh.
medications. You know, like you said, you can get impacted. So they said make sure you take your stool
They
softener
want to
and
make
all
everything work.
that. Yeah. And believe me, it's important because
Yeah, it's important.
you'll be like
works.
you'll be like sitting there like, okay, I've been sitting here for an hour now. going like, okay,
You got to rock.
really? I gotta try that. Never tried that before.
There was a guy that used to live on my street. He was
It's a great podcast today.
a handicapped guy. He's the same guy that we used to kick his shoes out from under him. The guy that was handicapped. He's our friend though, but he used to not shit for a long time, and he used to tell everybody in the park.
When he shit?
11 days. No,
Oh my
he
God.
hasn't shit in so long. I don't know if he's lying or not, but he'd go 2-3 weeks without pooping.
Wow.
It's horrible what kids do to.
And he loved it too. Well, he was our friend. We'd hang out with him, help
Well,
him collect
we
beer
had-
cans.
we had
but
a
every
friend
now and
in
then
high
we'd kick
school,
that
his-
shoe, get a little good laugh.
And
chuckle.
to this day, I
His
don't
name
know
was
his.
Crazy Ernie.
Well, see,
His
that's
eyes
what I was
would
gonna
look
say.
all around the room at all times.
We had a guy who was handicapped in my high school, and to this day I don't know his name, but I know his nickname, which was called. His name was Swivel,
Yeah.
and he loved that. I mean, he called himself that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he was called Swivel is because while he's talking to you, he would just go,
Yep.
you know.
Crazy Ernie was a trip, man. I loved Crazy Ernie. He's steady hunting cans. He loved empty cans. Loved them. You could give him 5,000 empty cans. You'd be back to hunting right after you'd take them. You got any more cans? We'd say, yeah, Ernie, I'll get some more cans for you tomorrow. And he'd say, when he's walking off, 12 days. I said, oh yeah, you ain't pooping again, Ernie? He said, nope, 12 days. And I said, all right, man, keep on it. Good for you.
Thanks for the update.
That's
Yeah.
great, man. And a couple days later, he'd be all bummed out. Man, I pooped 2 days. I'd see him in a couple weeks. 13 days, 17 days. And then one day we
Jesus
just didn't
Christ.
see him anymore, and his house started stinking. But that was after I moved out.
Got
You ready to get back to
severe
work?
diverticulitis going on.
Are you going crazy or what?
Kinda.
Yeah? What have you been doing all day?
Well,
He's
putting-
left-handed, so
yeah. Well,
that's not the question.
Yeah,
No,
I know, huh?
no.
Oh, man, I bet you're backed up. Oh, something awful.
Oh, dude, built that 10.5-inch AR using.
Oh, I thought we were going
using
in another direction.
using my
I
tongue.
built a 10 and a half now.
180.
My wife would say 10 and a half. You fucking liar.
No,
I built that 6 3/4 inch AR a couple
Yeah,
weeks
no.
ago too, son.
yeah, putting my,
Like, don't be
you know,
lying.
I'm pooping myself and dropping knowledge, son, all day.
yeah, using my chin and whatever I can, and like I said, putting bases on magazines with one hand, and
You're still talking about guns.
I'm talking about beating off on covered in feces, helping Ernie find cans over here, son. We're going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we're getting.
You've been spending a lot of money. Whenever I'm home for a long period of time, I spend all my money
Was that what Chelsea?
on Gunbroker. Yeah, she's home often. You know, I get on Gunbroker.
yeah, see
I
something.
don't know what
That's
the
what I
fuck
did.
else I do, but I get on Gunbroker,
That's what I did.
go through my shit, see what do a tally, how much ammo, how many
That's a good
underwears
thing.
I got left, how many pairs of socks, categorize everything, watch a couple movies. You seen any good movies?
No. Wait a minute. I did see. I didn't.
Don't say the Avengers.
No,
We
We already
went
went down
down that
that road.
no. I saw
Shit show.
I
It's
saw
like a 5-hour train wreck.
I saw the pilot of the launch of Law and Order, the one where he does the new one with Stabler. He does the mafia stuff. He goes after mafia.
Oh, really?
Oh shit! Have you seen the new thing for Fuck! Look it up. It's called No One or Nobody.
No, nobody. That's a. I
God
saw
damn,
that trailer.
looks good.
Yeah, that
Is that the
trailer.
guy with Breaking Bad in it? No, the
No.
guy with
The guy
yeah.
with Breaking Bad in
Yeah. He was in Breaking Bad. Saul, like Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
He plays this some jabroni that goes on a warpath after somebody disses his wife or kills his kid. It's the same story over and
Dude,
over.
I'm liking these lights. We gotta dim that stuff though.
Yeah, I know. I set
these
these lights
lights.
up. Anybody looking
The
at
hell?
has been on since season 1. We got a new bar over there with some blue lights.
Yeah.
We got a little bottle cap opener. We got a
Ginger
stack of
style.
hundos
I
up at the
I actually
top.
thought this was like a
Oh,
ballet
that
bar or
is
something.
ballet.
Oh no, I can think.
Yeah,
of
that's it
other
right
things.
there. Nobody. On demand,
Never
April
mind.
16th. We got a stack of fat
shut
stacks of Benjis.
Going to have to take this with me when I.
It's fake. That cost me
Thank you very
$26,
much.
bitch. I'm looking to see who's got sticky fingers in here. That's
Yeah,
movie
nobody right there. There he is.
I had to be taking
money. Wait, you
machine
can go to
guns.
the movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I missed the movies.
I almost went by myself.
Fuck, I missed the movies.
I went with my daughter and we saw
Well, you can get it
Wait,
on
where?
demand too.
at the Palace.
In Elmwood?
Yeah.
Every
And we-
time I drive by
And we
there,
went and
Ghost
saw
Town.
we went and saw Monster Hunter. Not a good
I didn't even know that was a thing. Jesus Christ,
Mila
scraping the bottom of the
Jovovich
barrel.
or whatever her name
Mila
is.
She's in all the
Jovovich.
Resident stuff,
Right.
Resident Evil. She's always hunting monsters. I bet you have some wild dreams. So you could, let's see, AMC Diamond, Clearview. What about Elmwood, Paul? I don't care about Clearview. That place sucks.
Yeah.
What about Elmwood?
But you can sneak food in.
You
or you-
can sneak food
In
in.
in Clearview.
My friend, man, I gotta get him on the.
You go to the dollar store right there in
he
Clearview
stuck
and you walk right in
a
with your bag.
petite fillet in his back
Oh
pocket.
my
that night.
God.
We both ate it.
We snuck a large pizza in one time. In the
Jesus
winter.
Christ, how'd you do that?
Yeah, that's what.
We
I mean, I've known
we had-
people
we-
that stuck milk duds in the purse, but in a large
Right.
pizza, where you hiding that fucking thing?
we had big hunting jackets, and I had like a game pack pouch in the back. We shoved it full of drinks and like 2 liters and stuff.
Jesus Christ.
2 liters.
And yeah, and one of the guys, Big Pete, that was with us.
Big Pete.
Yeah,
He was big.
that's
He
the
was,
dude that
he was
sneaks
big
2
before or
liters.
after he loaded up with pizza in 2 liters.
Son, I thought it was
No
some big
shit,
deal when a
man.
guy stole a laptop by sticking it down his pants. But all right.
I'm amazed at Elmwood. For people that don't know, Elmwood's a movie theater that I used to love going to. Is playing movies. Every time I drive by there, there's nobody in the parking lot.
I know,
No
dude. When we
shit.
went, we were
Cool, man. Hey, I'm game.
we
I
were
miss
2
the
of
movies.
like
Me too.
8 people that were in the whole movie theater.
I love going
It
to
was awesome.
movies, and I love. We talked about this last time. Blockbuster.
All right, so we need to
Yeah.
close early so we can make the 7:35.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, we do that. We can get everybody together.
I'm going.
What is that? Tomorrow? Can't do it tomorrow, goofball. I'm talking about like in a week. We can close early. Go see nobody.
Well, this is just what's
Everybody.
going on right now.
Well, I need future plans.
Well, I can't give you future plans.
I'm working in the present and future.
Damn it, Paul!
You should just fire
Wait,
me
wait,
right
wait.
now.
They want to give you what's available for the next 24 hours?
Yeah.
This bootleg shit. This place isn't
No,
open.
go to,
What
go
website
to
are you on?
The website for the AMC Elmwood. Not
Yeah, this is
shit.
some asshole selling
This is nobody.movie. Whatever. Go to
Fandango.
Go to the Elmwood AMC.
They're not even in the United States. They're trying to take my $7.50. Go to AMC Palace. Man, I'd be so pumped if they're back open.
They
Fuck,
are.
I used to
That's
love-
where we went.
They are open. They
You
were
might have
open
been
the other day.
this
compromised.
was like
I don't know
2
if I
months
believe
ago.
you. I swear to God, man, every time I go by there, ghost town, nothing.
Crickets.
Yeah. I can see Ginger's phone. Yeah, they are open.
Yeah.
Man, I'm happy about that. I'm glad that place didn't go under.
Got a new producer.
Fuck,
Ginger
that's
pulled
good.
that shit up before you did.
Ginger's already bought tickets for all of us. I'm still
Wait a
minute.
paid.
We're in.
She's
boo.
already got the
We're
special
in.
room booked.
Yep, that's it.
Private viewing.
Wait a minute. I'm dealing with slow internet, and I'm trying
I'm
to
on the same
switch
internet.
cameras.
Oh, it's the
and
internet.
Yada
I don't
yada
wanna hear
yada
your
yada
bullshit.
yada. Cha
Will
cha.
pulled it up too, and he's got one arm, and he hadn't beaten off in 6
They've even
weeks.
given me
That's
a
it.
pretzel bites for $4.
Oh, let's go. AMC. Well, good, man. Good for AMC. I'm glad they didn't go under. Man, how much money do you think that cost them for being closed for like a year?
Oh, jeez.
Fuck. I
That's
watched that
what I
movie last
imagined,
night.
too.
That was stupid. Godzilla vs. Kong. Stupid movie. I saw that. the
It
other
was
day.
40 years ago. It
That's
still
it.
is today.
That's what we're going to go see. We're going to go see that in a week or two. We can close an hour early. God, I love the movie.
They got
I
reclining
love the
seats and
movies.
everything.
You know what they were doing
Wow.
for a week or two? They were letting you. It was like you had to get at least 25 people, and the max was 25 people. So you're in a weird
You get like a party and watch a
right,
movie all by
and
yourself.
you can pick from like 200 shows. We were gonna do the Thing with
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. That's a good movie, man.
I just watched that the other day.
You think about that kind of stuff if that ever happened in real life?
I almost volunteered for orders to Antarctica.
Oh God, dude! Think about being in Antarctica with an M16.
You know where to go.
Tripping over a piece of metal in the ground. You start digging. Fucking spaceship.
Did you ever watch the old one? You watched the one from the 50s?
Oh, that's the best one. The new
have
one
the-
sucks.
They have the one from the 50s. They have the one from the 80s.
Oh, I didn't see the one from the 50s.
Well, you know
That's
the,
a 50s
the black
thing?
the black and white movie. It's called The Thing from Outer Space. But
No.
the black and white like video that they're watching is from the original movie.
Oh, okay.
And then the second one actually it tells you what happens to the Norwegian group before the movie from the 80s. So it's a prequel.
Well, you're talking about the one from like 2012,
Yeah.
like 2014. Yeah, that one was okay. But man, the older thing with Kurt Russell was legit.
Oh yeah, that's the best one.
We talk about a little part. We're gonna make it a little part, Wilfred, about our guests. Have you ever seen anything like that? Anything wild? Anything that made you go,
Like a ghost or anything?
Oh,
aliens?
no aliens.
Yeah, man, I'm in your boat. Doesn't that suck though? Don't you feel gypped?
No, I don't feel gypped because growing up with families that have grown up with mortuaries and stuff, you hear stories and stuff.
Frank,
and
help Wilfred out. Pull this thing right up his nose. Hit him in the face.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, with family that's owned like funeral
Well, I don't
homes
care about
and
ghosts. I'm gonna be dead soon anyway. What about aliens?
Stop saying that.
aliens.
I was swinging from the rafters about 4 hours ago. They caught me.
Well,
Always
I know they-
Get out.
I know we have a contingency for aliens.
Hey,
and
you heard about that?
zombies
No
and-
shit. You heard about the Pentagon? Pull up what the Pentagon said maybe 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago. They said, I'm not joking. They said we've recovered something that's not.
Yeah,
from
I
this
saw that.
world.
I saw that.
And they did it right in the middle of COVID, right when COVID was still
yeah, so
kind of.
nobody
I say 2 months
concentrated on
ago.
it?
It was probably like 6 months ago, huh, Will? And it was pull that up. Say
Yeah.
pull up U.S. government releases found UFO ship or something like that.
there
It'll pull it up.
had to be a reason why they released
Remember,
it.
Dude,
lived
I'm
in-
telling you.
I lived in New
swear to
Mexico
God.
for a while and used to go to
I
Roswell.
don't know how we haven't talked about this. They said that not made on this earth. Booyah! Drop some knowledge, Paul. Top secret Pentagon UFO task force reportedly expected to reveal some findings, and the findings they revealed is they found something
It's from September of last
not
year.
made. No, they did it again. No, that's not it, Paul. That's Commander David Fravors. He was on Rogan and a bunch of stuff too, talking about what he saw. Man, fuck. If I knew, I could die happily. I gotta know before I die. I gotta know before I croak. Maybe if I croak, then I'll find out. You know, maybe you'll merge with other sentient beings in the universe. I don't
Well,
know.
just like Promethean, right?
But I swear to God, they said I looked it up too. They
the
said
engineers.
U.S. government said they didn't go into what it was, and it was COVID was going on, the elections, shit was blowing up in across the country. People were taking over cities and shit. But they said we found something that was not made on Earth. And then they dropped it like a mic drop and walked off, and nobody said shit about it. But a few people, posted it and said, Pentagon just admitted to testing UFO wreckage, but what did they discover? See, they're not going to tell you what they discover. I think they're easing you in, like an old dude in a warm bath. They're slowly getting you to the point where once they say, once an alien walks out into the White House lawn,
Yeah, how you doing?
yeah, right. You're not like, what the fuck? You're like, I knew it was coming. I knew it
Might
was
be
coming.
like Independence Day, though, man.
Oh, I hope not. If that's the case, we're in trouble. We got nothing to fight these intergalactic beings with.
As part of the newly passed
Will Smith's
COVID-19
old.
relief legislation, lawmakers are demanding answers from U.S. intelligence agencies and the Defense Department on the potential existence of UFOs.
Yeah, that's what
As
happens
part
when you
of the
keep people in their house
COVID-19
for a
relief
year.
legislation.
Relief legislation.
People are so crazy.
It's so stupid. It has nothing to do with that.
But God, I'd like to know. You think you'll know before you die, Ginger?
Yeah. I mean,
But people
say
have
it
been
all the
saying this.
time.
People have been saying the same thing though for hundreds of years. That we'll know, but it's coming. Everybody thinks this is the generation, this is the time, and it never happens.
Well, Area 51 does exist.
My grandfather was in the Air Force, and I know he saw stuff that he couldn't talk about.
Frank was in the Navy.
Area 51, they still fly people there with a plane with no numbers on the tail and
Janet
everything
Airlines.
from
They call
Vegas.
it the Janet flights. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes
every
out of
day.
Vegas, yeah.
Every day.
In plain sight.
Yep.
They don't hide
And
You ever see anything go in the water?
out
in
at
the Navy?
sea.
Yeah. No.
Although that whole mermaid thing is real. Like
What
where
was
they-
that about?
Where
I watched.
where for some reason you get a feeling like when you're looking out at the water, and I don't know what it is. But like when you're out just staring at the water, like on the deck of a boat,
On ecstasy.
you just get this urge, like, man, I just want to fucking jump in. Like I just want to leap off of this motherfucker. You know, you get.
Well,
this
they
urge.
think that might be why there's semi-webbing between your fingers and stuff, and that you're, relatively hairless. They think that people might have had a more connected life with the water before we made land. Well, there's still, like, if you look at apes' hands and stuff, there's not so much like webbing between the fingertips, and obviously they got hair on them.
Yeah,
babies are in water for 9 months.
The biggest argument about that is, every species that has evolved into something else, the weaker, older, or the other species has died off. Why do we still have monkeys?
Because evolution.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
We didn't evolve from monkeys.
We did not evolve from
I agree.
monkeys.
That's what they're trying to prove by saying that, is that we did not. Just like why did we lose all the hair? Just to put clothes on?
No.
And there's so many things that I want to talk about with all of this. Yeah. Oh man, I just don't know. It seems like there's so much stuff, even with our iPhones and our HD TV and 5K coming out the walls that we don't know.
They control everything, though.
We don't know what's going on. We don't know where.
What do you think about that whole "we're living in a simulation" thing?
Oh, it's crazy.
Well, the Matrix.
Too,
for a lot of people, the Matrix is real because a lot of them don't want to wake up. They love, just the way their life is, and they don't want to go down the rabbit hole.
I watched this thing the other day about the universe, about how, like, towards the end of the universe, and there will be an end, and it's like trillion years from now or something like that.
Would you rather be when it's not ending now, or would you rather be there when it ends?
Well, what is there after it ends? I don't want to be there right before there's nothing.
You wouldn't want to see like
kaboom. Fuck. Well, no. See, the problem is
purple expand until it hits you, and you.
There's this video you can watch on I think it's on YouTube, where they speed up time in the video, and they run through how when the sun becomes
burns
a white
out.
dwarf, and
right.
all because there's no new stars being made. Okay. So eventually all the stars that exist right now will burn out, and there will be no stars left.
Unless there's another
in our
dimension.
galaxy, right? Yeah.
Right.
In our galaxy.
Well, in our universe.
Yeah, but there's...
In the individual galaxies.
Yeah.
All the stars will eventually burn out. I watched the video. These scientists were explaining it, And then they said we'll go into like a black hole age where there'll be nothing but black holes and dark matter left in the universe, and things like that. It was really crazy.
Then the Dark Lord rises, right?
You're like, what the fuck
That's
is
how
everything?
Star Wars, the Sith. That's how that starts.
Hey,
They're just bouncing off of DC.
but
and
it
Star
was
Wars.
weird though to think like, what the fuck is it all for then? If at the end, there's nothing left, like it's just a cold, empty space.
They were
that
asking,
nothing exists
who
anymore.
were they asking? It was so crazy to listen to him talk. He said, "What happened before, the Big Bang?" And he said, well,
that's what makes people think it's a simulation.
Right.
Because...
Well, he was getting to that, but he said, well, what if I ask you where north is? And you say, all right, we'll go that way. And then I go that way for 100 miles, and I say, I'm going north. I want to go the most north I can go. And he says, all right, well, you go that way. And he keeps going, and he gets to, the fucking North Pole or whatever, and he says, all right, I'm going north. Where's north?
Straight up.
He says, 100 miles that way. And then he gets there, and he says... all right, I'm going north. Where's more north than where I am now? And he said, well, just like there is no more, before the Big Bang, you can go north, but there's no more north than where north stops or starts. In the same
See,
theory
no, that's
that
the flat Earth people.
I'd like to get one of them
I
on here
agree.
too, man. I can't go flat Earth,
No.
but I'd like to.
There's some though, like the map where it says, according to the flat Earth people, this is how the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and they flew all the way across, like all these land masses to get to Hawaii, all the way on the other side.
Well, I mean,
of this
then
flat Earth.
those people too believe, Asian people aren't real. There's no such thing as
we're all
water.
lizard people.
Right. There's the flat earth. There's no, there's no such space is fake.
Right.
They go deep.
Didn't land on the moon.
They go real deep.
So there's no helicopter on Mars right now.
I was an anti-mooner, man, for a minute.
I don't think we landed on the moon when they said we landed on the moon. I think they said it so we would beat the Russians. But I think since then we went. Because they do have
Why
the
you think
equipment
we
up
haven't been back?
Because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Why go back? They can do all those experiments floating around in orbit. Why would they need to land on the moon?
Like Apollo 14 or Apollo 11 or something? We haven't been outside the
outer atmosphere.
Yeah. You don't think that's strange? Tesla shot that fucking Tesla into space. Elon Musk was shooting cars out of that. Like a cannon, kaboom, just shooting $60,000 cars at Mars. That's when you know you've made it. I wonder who he goes to.
That kind of shit away.
To where
or
he
you
can
blow
dig.
up $1 billion rocket and you're like,
well, you can shoot a car into space. And he did that.
I know.
Who do you think he... you think he went to the governor and he's like, hey, I made this car that goes faster than the speed of sound. I got billions of dollars. I'm going to shoot this fucker at Mars. And they're like, all right. Let me know when you do it. I want to watch.
Do you have to get a permit for that?
Man, I don't know. I think you do. To shoot cars into space.
No, just to shoot anything into space.
Well, he dug a hole under Los Angeles to build that underground speedway thing, and they let him do that.
Well, that
we had a lot of
that he had to get a permit for.
Yeah, but I mean, who do you go to dig a 100-mile tunnel underneath one of the most seismic cities in the country?
Well, same thing. We were putting in all the subway tunnels there. Same thing.
Yeah, but that's like that. Wasn't it the parish, the county? This dude just got a bankroll.
Yep.
A hot wife, and he's smart as shit, and he's gonna say, look, I'm gonna just dig, and I'm gonna start digging under all of these people and these buildings. And I'm gonna start shooting cars with magnets, at 500 miles an hour.
Well, they got the super collider too.
Well, I'm sure he greased a couple of palms along the way.
Well, it's California, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, he's been shooting cars into space and lighting.
What do you say? You let me shoot a car into space?
He built that flamethrower and was selling them on eBay. Yeah. That dude's legit.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart dude.
Well,
I think he built like 500
went on Joe Rogan, smoked weed.
Yeah, you saw that. His
stock went down.
It went back up though. Yeah. He smoked weed like an alien though. Did you notice? Because he got it, and he went, huh.
Wait. Maybe he is an alien.
He might be one of the lizard people.
And he kind of looked like, nope, it doesn't have any effect. Here's some acid. And he went, nope, no effect.
I mean, he's not a typical guy.
No, he's a super genius, man.
Super genius.
Fuck, I'd like to know.
Wile E. Coyote.
Too. Yep, Wile E. Coyote. I like that.
I wonder if his brain ever turns off though. Like if he
no.
Like you think it's miserable to be.
I don't know. I don't sleep sometimes.
I mean, that dude's making flamethrowers, shooting SUVs with people in them into space. I bet if he had to kill his maid, stick it in a body bag and shoot that hoe into Mars.
Don't know where she's
just his maid? Why would he?
Think of all the stuff you got
randomly
when you shoot. Well, I mean, it killed anybody. You just shooting cars every 5th of the month. Boom, boom, boom. SUVs, Teslas.
We're gonna be launching some top secret material in space.
Well, I didn't know my maid was in there.
It's like the 37 women he killed.
Just shooting,
cram them all
in. Boom, shooting one at the moon.
55-gallon
shooting one at Mars. Boom, Venus got one. 2 for you. Boom, Pluto. Pow.
But he probably had some kind of gadget that just vaporized them anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, see, yeah. But they had that back in the day. They just dropped them in Nevada acid.
You saw when he was that's funny.
You gotta watch that video about the Iceman.
Did you see when he hit that Tesla with that
it broke?
Yeah.
No, it was a metal ball.
That's what it was, a baseball.
Threw that fucking metal ball.
He said, my car is so goddamn
That was the new truck.
This is a 10-pound weight, and this is made out of space-age titanium shit that I used to, I made when I was at HIT, and he wound up like an old pitcher, and threw it, and broke the fucking windshield and fell down, and he went, oh, fuck, that sucks. Oh, man.
Yep.
God, I wonder, though.
But you see, that alone shows you how much money he has. Like, he threw that thing at that truck, and it shattered, and he's like...
I don't give a shit.
Well, that sucks. He didn't care. He's like, okay, we'll build another one. Fuck.
Yep. He's supposed to be making one of the electric-powered big rigs or something, right?
Yeah, the new Tesla truck, like the big semi truck.
Yeah, the
But
one
they're
company
even making big, huge batteries for houses to power houses.
Well, because I know the one
I
company
worked
that
for
was doing
Texas a couple months ago.
Yeah, big time. The one company
God,
that
this
was
internet
making
sucks.
semi
What are we going to do about this
didn't
internet,
work.
Paul? What are we going to do?
Didn't
Well,
work.
I can make a phone call and call an actual expert in here to have them talk to you, because the internet is horrible.
It is
bad.
horrible.
But why?
It could be numerous things. You know, I mean,
probably who we
computers
have.
could be infected. You know, possibly. You know,
Infected.
yeah. I mean,
Ew. Y'all
That
better
sounds like
stop
something from
watching that
Bubba
porn.
Sparks.
yeah.
Sounds like something from Bubba Sparks.
Man,
Get
got
you so infected.
venereal disease or something.
You think they're ever going to make this shit, though? I mean, that doesn't look like something that somebody's going to be able to buy in the next 10 years.
Why is he wearing a motorcycle jacket?
This
That's
dude
what I
just
wanna
brought out a coffin with wheels on it.
Yep,
And he's
basically.
rolling out.
Solar panels or something? Oh, no, that's just the
Oh,
ramp.
that is kind of cool, though, man. Look, he's got
Oh,
solar
he's got
panels.
the Tesla motorcycle.
Ah.
Quad.
Does any of this scare you, Will?
Nah.
Dude, it terrifies me, man.
There you
When
go.
you can drive
Find out why.
When you can drive a a motorcycle that doesn't take gas
Oh.
into a I don't know what he's trying to prove. Look at Elon, like a boss.
Now do it to my truck.
Hit it harder, pussy, and he
You know,
fucking
they
flips
made
it over
something
and
like
catches
that a
it on
long time
fire.
ago. It was called a DeLorean.
Yeah, but the Lord was just stainless
Look
steel.
at this lady. She's got a bunch of feathers all over her.
I know, he really
People
does
are
it
so
up, doesn't he?
crazy.
He really goes a little extravagant.
Uh-huh. He could have just said our glass is real strong.
He's
This
got
guy's
like David
dropping
Blaine dropping shit on.
This guy's got a cape on. I haven't seen anybody with a cape in the wild in
Who's
a
that?
long
Chris
time.
Angel, Mind Freak.
Mhm. Oh, he's dropping ball bearings in the glass. Man, I don't know. I'm worried about what's going to happen in 50 years. Would you rather be born now or in 100 years or 100 years before now?
I would rather have been born in the 50s.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
before, definitely before.
Ah, that's it. Goes
Back when, like, families spent time together and there was a family unit kind of thing. And everybody.
Do you think
it
things
was-
were better, though, or do you think the government just made you feel like things are
No,
worse
I think
now?
it was better because, like, you dressed up to go to the movies and you people who had TVs
was an outing.
didn't take them for granted. Everything was radio before that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I just think that things were how they made cars back then, how they they made furniture.
thing of-
and things. That's
well,
why
it
the
was a
shit
thing
that
of
you
pride.
have today from the 50s still lasts.
Yeah.
So do you think
All
that
the shit that we make today,
Do you think that
10 years from now is
every-
going to be fucking shit?
every life form on every planet goes the same direction? Like, they eventually make a phone that makes a thing you can talk to people, that
unless-
makes a spaceship that then kills themselves
unless
with a
they're
nuclear
lazy.
bomb.
They just sit around all day and say, fuck it.
Because it seems like this is what humans
Or
do.
they might go,
Right? It seems like humans get the phone, and the fucking phone's too slow, and they make a better phone, and they make a better phone, then they make one that can take pictures of the moon, then they can make one that you can instantly make, you can talk to you while you're in California, and that's too slow, so I want a better one. I want a bigger one, I want a smaller one, I want a bigger one, I want a spaceship that goes faster, I want a car that doesn't take gas, I want this and this and this, and before you know it, something happens to where you're merging with technology,
yeah,
and it's game over.
right.
You get to a point where you can't backtrack. And that might be what aliens and shit that you're seeing.
Matrix.
It's everything goes the same
Yeah, the
path
the
until
monsters
they...
are alive on Maple Street. You didn't see that episode of Twilight Zone?
No.
Yeah, it's.
I have a feeling that might be the whole universe's odd direction.
Well,
That something gets smart, and that smart thing wants better stuff,
AI.
and they keep making technology, and they make cars that don't take gas, and Elon Musk is throwing baseballs at $50,000.
Well, that's what
trucks that
Terminator's
don't look
about.
like trucks, and then the phone fits in your pocket, and then you don't even need a phone; it's in your wrist, and then the wrist, you don't need that; it's right behind your eyelid, and you just tap it. You can talk
yeah,
to
but
anybody.
we regress.
There's
on
no
certain
more
things
money. You
sometimes,
just
too,
trade
like-
Bitcoin,
'cause
and before you know it, you're a robot, and you're shooting shit at Mars from Elon Musk's house.
Well, but like I said, like we regress on certain things also. Like So everybody wanted the faster car, or at first they wanted the more environmentally friendly car. That we thought SUVs were going to go away because gas got so expensive, and then things changed, and then everybody bought SUVs, and we were rescuing old cars from garages, and then all of a sudden Dodge came out with a
67
million
Chevy barn find.
like let's go back and make one
But
that
it
looks like
seems
the old
even
car.
though
You
those
know?
people are fighting, that you can't stop it. People
you're not gonna
want
stop
the
progress,
new thing.
no.
They want the Chelsea's got like a 20. I don't know, but what year are we in 2021? She has like a 2020 iPhone, and it's shit. It's junk. She needs
The iPhone 12.
The TVs. You need the new. Not LED,
Well, dude,
the OLED.
Just that.
China just
alone.
released a TV that comes in like a roll, and you roll it out. I'm serious. You roll it out on the wall. It's like paper.
Throw it up there.
Yeah.
Before you know it, it'll be a thing, right? You'd just be able to pull it off the wall. It'll shrink, and you can throw it on any wall you want.
Jetsons, right?
But I think that everybody, maybe that's just what people do.
I don't even
Or-
think. I think
or
eventually
any-
you won't need a TV. You just either have glasses or you have an implant in your eye. You won't even have a
That
TV.
terrifies me. And you know what happens
You're
too?
like,
if you
What are you doing? Watching
test
porn?
Crazy Ernie was years above
Because
his
you
time.
see-
He was always
Well, look.
staring off.
Because I believe the same thing is, they have this technology where you put a chip in your eye and you can watch whatever you want.
you saw
Well,
that on
then you can sit there
Dark
and go,
Mirror. What is it?
What are you doing?
Did you see that on Dark Mirror?
Nothing.
I think that might be just what happens, man. Once you gain intelligence and sentience, you move towards merging with technology, and that might be what you're seeing, man. You might be seeing aliens coming that are doing the same thing that we're going to do in 500 years from now.
Well, but if you look at, like I said, that video the other day where it says at the end of time, all suns will burn out. There will be nothing left. Everything will just be floating around in massive darkness. And then another big bang happens. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be the end of the program. And then it starts over, and that's the simulation. It just continuously repeats itself.
Oh, we end up like Dark City. Remember that movie?
You know the really shitty part?
But there's no heat. There's nothing.
I need AC. They polled.
You don't need AC. You'd be frozen.
They polled people from all over the world. And I don't remember who it was, and I wish I could, but I'm sure you can Google it and find it. They polled people from all over the world, from the poorest places on the planet to people that are living in the Amazon, with no shoes on, to people in California, to people in Europe, and the people that had the most shit and the most amount of GDP, largest GDP, the most amount of money in the bank, were the most unhappy people out of all of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
People in the Amazon, and that's really interesting because they don't tell
Dude, I
you.
see kids today who they don't know what they got, they don't know how they got it, but they want more.
Yeah,
and they're
that's my
they're not
point.
happy with what
That's
they
my
have.
They don't want to work for
When
it.
I was a kid, dude,
That's
I
it.
literally we were poor, didn't have nothing. 3 kids, my mom and dad. We took a dresser once and turned it around, and I drew a fucking cockpit to an airplane.
Oh,
on
you
it.
don't have to tell me.
And
I'm
I sat
tripping
in
on
front of
myself
it and
at
I
the fair once a
pretended-
year. Baby. I'm buying confetti eggs for $1.50, taking a dump behind the
Pretending I'm
stairs,
flying,
baby.
because we didn't have a whole lot of stuff to play with.
No, I get it. But
And-
the interesting thing about the survey is...
But we were happy.
I was
Yeah.
happy too, man. Playing
Shitting his
baseball and
pants.
shitting
on
myself
yourself
at the fair. I was happy as a clam. Having those
Spitball.
little eggs that have confetti in them.
Oh.
Chunking them, from a distance because I didn't want to
Damn,
stink up the place.
damn,
Just
I'm
chunking
happy.
them from a distance. You could buy a dozen eggs with confetti in them for $1.25.
I don't know if I gauge shitting on myself as happy, but if you want to, you go right ahead.
But they tell people, look, they just say from 1 to 10,
This is heaven.
what's your happiness? But they don't tell you how to judge happiness.
Right.
Which is the really interesting part. They don't say 10 is you have a bunch of money and a big house and a hot girlfriend or a good-looking husband or whatever. They just say from 1 to 10, your happiness. And the people with the least amount of shit not physically on themselves because it was an unpleasant evening, but the least amount of stuff, the least amount of electronics, no car notes, no house and this that you got to pay for, you don't go to, and the kids that aren't, they're going to school and they're unhappy, even though you're paying $50,000. Just 1 to 10, your happiness, and the people with the most stuff were, between
miserable.
6 and 3. Having affairs, all this crap, and the people in the Amazon that are hunting frogs with a filed down toothpick were 10s, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Right. Well, I think happiness is relative to how you...
Right, but I think it screws you up.
Well, I think...
you look at your neighbor. Your neighbor's out there planting, roses in December. He knows they're going to die, but, you don't have roses in December, so you're miserable. Your wife wants the new...
Don't hang out with those people, Devvin.
Exactly.
Don't hang out with them.
Exactly.
Thou shalt not covet.
Right.
Thy neighbor's roses.
But I think that's a thing, man, with today. And I think it's going to get worse and worse and worse until something happens, and I don't know what that something is.
That's why I keep my circle very small.
What you think about that?
Oh, I totally agree, because people these days, just like Ginger and I talk about, and like we're talking about, they want everything, but they don't want to do anything to get it. They want to take your stuff. That's why New Orleans has went to crap, because so many people that live there want other people's stuff, but they don't want to do anything to get it. They just... They feel if they want your stuff, they have a right to your stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
Stupidity.
Number one is the way they're raised. And number two is media and TV blowing up, showing you got to have the biggest this, the best that.
Oh, man.
And none of that crap, like you said, none of that crap really makes you happy. Because how many people... like I grew up with a kid in New Orleans when I was growing up. His parents...
Where'd you grow up?
New Orleans. I grew up in Mid-City.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up 231 South White Street.
I grew up in the Ninth Ward.
That's between Canal
and
and Tulane and Broad and Jeff Davis is where I grew up. And I had a buddy. His parents they lived in Lakeview at the time, and he went to Easton, and his parents... They had tons of money, but they had a housekeeper that pretty much his parents were gone a lot.
Yeah, man.
And
that's what I'm scared of too.
And so his parents were gone a lot. So the housekeeper basically raised him. And whenever he had anything going on and stuff, his parents, he would try to get their attention. Basically, they threw money at it. So in order to get their attention, he says, they won't give me any attention, so I'll kill myself, and that'll get their attention. That's exactly what he did.
Jeez.
And that got his parents.
That's extreme.
And that got his parents' attention. They ended up getting divorced.
There's a lot of rich kids who pretty much have everything, and
they hate
commit
life.
Suicide.
So what do you think the secret to happiness is, other than guns?
I would think it's just within yourself. I don't necessarily like the way that my daughter doesn't appreciate certain things, but she can make it up in other ways. But
would you do anything differently? Not to cut you off, but would
her,
you do anything differently looking back?
I wouldn't spoil her like I did. But to me, I look at, I mean, we get fucked up too. Just like I didn't have anything when I was a kid. So I'm like, my daughter will never want for anything.
Yeah,
but in doing that,
sucks, huh?
she takes it. I mean, they take it for granted.
Exactly, that you owe them stuff.
And I think it's like a wave. Just like people who don't beat their kids, or I shouldn't say beat, but spank. But because my mom and dad, they spanked their shit out of us. But and we knew you didn't say the F word around my mom and dad. You didn't, and they said it constantly. Or you didn't do certain things. You just knew you were going to get your freaking ass beat. Just like grades in school. You didn't come home with an F. Well, then you have the generation, or maybe 2 generations later, who got beat. Then said, I'm never doing that to my kid. I'm never going to beat my kid.
Then the kids beat
and
them,
then they don't. And then, then the kids kind of are the dominant group in the family.
It's crazy how we still haven't got it figured out.
I know.
I always thought, like when I was, 15 or whatever, I thought, well, one day I'm going to be 30, 40, 50, and I'm going to figure it out. And all these other older people have figured it out. And,
They just
the government too. It's just old, it's people that are older that know what's going on.
Wise.
They got it figured out. And then you get to that point and you're like,
Nobody
knows what the fuck's going on. And that's the scary part.
There is no fail-safe plan. There is no something that works constantly.
No fail-safe plan. Look at where our government is right now. Talk about no fail-safe plan.
Oh, that's scary.
Well, who said that? Paul, it's hard times make tough men. Tough men make easy times. Easy times make weak men. Weak men make tough times. Yep. Tough times make hard men.
And it's true because look at, with all this political correctness and everything that they have today, you have these guys now that it's so acceptable to.
That's it. You just said
to not be strong, not be manly, not be a man, and it's completely acceptable. If you don't like it, then you're the bad guy.
G. Michael Hoff said that.
Yeah, you got it right.
What'd you do after you raised most of your kids yourself, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah,
How's
and
that?
a few man children. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't always turn out the way you raise them.
Any nuggets of wisdom?
Oh God, no. I will tell you this. So my oldest told me one day, he was like, "Ma," he said, "I used to be so mad at you because we kind of lived on a farm a little bit after Katrina, and I had pigs and chickens and horses and stuff." And he said,
"My mom has chickens."
"We used to hate when you'd make us pick up shit." He said, "And you used to make us work so hard." He said, "But I'm so glad you did because me compared to my friends, me and my brother have so much better work ethic than anyone else that we know."
Well, that's what I'm also terrified about. I'm part of the worst generation in history, probably. And I'm worried about in 30 more years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but I think it has to do with, just like she said, I think the parents get to the point where, I don't want, I know how much I hated my mom and dad for being mean to me and being ugly to me and beating me. And, you know what I'm saying? Even though that I know I wouldn't be the person I am if they had not done that.
Exactly.
Do you think that?
But listen.
Okay, all right.
So I think that then you raise your kids thinking, I don't want them to hate me like I hated my parents.
I was still strict. I was very strict.
And they end up hating you more because you do everything for them.
Exactly.
I didn't. I was very strict. They used to call me the general, the neighborhood
Well, no,
kids.
but that's my point is that when you're strict and you give them that good base,
yeah,
then they grow up knowing they might hate you at the time,
right?
But they learn later, well,
me and my friend, we were talking about this the other day. So my youngest is 13.
Wouldn't they emulate that and keep doing it?
Well, it depends on their mindset after the fact, because I think it fades. That's why I said 2 generations, not the next generation.
Yeah.
But with my oldest, me and my friend Jenny were talking about this the other day. They were like, "What is it?" I said, "This is what I think it is. I think because we had our kids in our 30s." Or mid-30s, the youngest. So all of their friends, parents,
when do you think the best time to get married and have kids
20s.
is?
Oh God, I say go have fun.
See,
do it in your 30s.
I also think
30s though. Yeah.
I also think the key is multiple kids.
Oh, absolutely.
If you have at least 2,
just spit another one out and get it over with.
Cut this part out.
Because single.
What the fuck are you doing?
No, because one single child, you tend to spoil that child. You tend to be overly protective of that child. You know what I'm saying? Like my dad had 3, and my dad used us like we were freaking slaves.
I worked my
go
kids.
Get that phone. Go stand over there and change the channel for me while I tell you. You know what I mean?
Okay, we had remotes.
We had to stand there. You know.
Well, yeah, we had that one.
Yeah.
Then you got to turn the bottom one.
Yeah. So I mean, it was my dad was like, do what the fuck I say. It was
Don't ask why.
So
if
you had to condense you as well, raising children down to what you think is the best. I haven't done it already. What would you?
Well, I raised my daughter a good bit,
And that's
by
fucking
myself.
cool, man.
Okay,
I don't know how you did
and
that.
my daughter never got into drugs. Never got
How
into.
though? How did you do that?
Because everything.
Do you think it's you think hold on before you say it, do you think that some people just get unlucky and have
I think way too many people hand them the iPad.
Fuck, dude, I do too, man. I do.
It's different times, though. I mean, times change. They change.
I also don't know how to discipline a 1-year-old, or if you even are supposed to.
Well, but you see, there's too much of the, you have to get down on their level, and you have to talk
No,
to
you
them
don't.
like
No, you don't.
Like that happened once to me when I was with somebody, and they said, I got pissed off at her little girl, and I was like, fucking good, And as soon as we got back to the house, she was like, "You two need to have a talk." I was like, "I don't need to have a fucking talk with anybody. I'm a grown man. She's a fucking child.
That's right.
I don't need to get down on her
Absolutely.
level."
No, never.
When do you start disciplining them?
Disciplining how? Like I would say,
okay, so
the
like
only
I got
time I had to
good-
tell my daughter one time when I had a basket full of shit and she had a bunch of stuff in there that she was getting, and we got to the checkout and she threw a fucking tantrum at the checkout because she couldn't get this little thing at the
How
checkout.
old?
Oh, she was probably like 5 or 6. And guess what? I left that whole fucking basket sitting right there and walked the fuck out, dragging her the whole way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But she never did it again.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the way. My friend D was the same way. Tiffany threw a tandem one time, and D was more like Ginger. So D didn't say anything. She smiled, and she put her hands on Tiffany's little hands on the basket rail, and she squells real hard, and she says, "When I get you home, I'm gonna beat the living shit out of you." And
See, that
Tiffany's eyes
fear-
got big and never happened again.
That
see,
fear doesn't exist now. That fear
that is
does
the
not
problem.
exist
That
now.
is the problem.
with
And
my
I can
mom-
look at my boys. I can give them a look, and they know. And
Yeah.
little Derek will tell
Like
you.
my mom used to
just
say,
looks at me.
"Wait till your dad gets home."
Well,
And we're
my
like,
mom
"Oh
didn't-
shit, we fucked up now."
Well,
See,
see, it
that's
had to
where it
be
was
me.
different. That's where it was
like
different.
all we had to do was hear my dad's belt buckle coming apart, and we're like,
When did you start though, like disciplining, like really because so my daughter.
"Well, see,
she's-
but I
she's
did a lot of
great.
things with lessons though." Like my daughter, when we watched a lot of movies, and even at a young age, we'd watch horror movies and stuff like that, and I always made it into a lesson for her. And I was like, "That's why you don't do this.
Right.
That's why you don't do that." And she caught on to that.
But you're talking about 3, 4, 5.
He just
6.
put fear into this poor dog. This poor dog.
See, like
Yeah,
my
but
daughter.
now she's like, "Fuck you! I don't give a shit. I'm 21. I don't care." You know what I mean?
So I don't know how to
but
manage
she's awesome. She's awesome.
the age with the moral of the story.
Well, but there's
with
nothing you can really do with a 1-year-old.
Right.
Exactly.
Now they are a sponge. They are picking everything up. But at that age, they're like
So I'll take
even
her,
5
and
years
I'll
from
just-
now, she's not going to remember shit
Right.
from how she is right now. So how you treat her right now, she's not going to give a damn 5 years from now.
So you start influencing them when they're like 4, 5.
I would say when they can start responding and start giving you feedback, that's when you need to start.
Because
telling
like
them
right now
what's
she'll
and
sit
wrong.
on her little thing, and she knows that the dog likes food,
Right.
and the dog hates her. By the way,
Yeah, I know. You told me.
Yeah, we heard that story.
Peter's gonna come get me. I was really gonna splash him on the smash him on the. Yeah, you nipped at her one day, and I almost picked him up, and I had him above my head. And Josh went, "Oh my god!" And I just kind of slowly.
Dude,
put
that
him back
happens
down.
to me
But I was
now.
gonna grab him, and just kind of squish him, but she didn't like that. And then the baby would, see me squishing this dog, and I have to clean it up, and it's a big mess.
My husky
But she
nipped my daughter in the forehead, and I
Oh,
grabbed
no.
him. And I
Oh.
grabbed her,
Well,
and I
see,
literally
you have a
picked this
husky. I
frickin'
have a
husky
dog
up.
that is very easy to murder.
Right,
So
right.
it's little. So I remember, and I go into this, and I think that's where she gets a little bit of her, even at 1, she'll sit there. If we don't do something, she'll go, and her face will get red.
Just
And I'll
let
just
her-
pick her up, and I'll
yeah.
sit her down, and I'll hold her until she stops.
That's good.
But she'll, she'll get her food, and she'll
This is
give
the
my
baby
only
you're
child,
talking about.
right?
Okay, yeah.
There's only one of them.
But you see now, I don't think I think that what you're doing, like picking her up when she gets angry and giving her that attention, you're teaching her because
See, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It is my
man.
firm
I don't
belief.
know what to. But then look, so let me finish. And then
Ignore
you tell me.
them.
So she'll take the food, and she'll watch me, and I'll say no,
Right.
no, And she'll do it once, and she'll give the dog the food, and the dog, and so I'll get her, and I'll say no, and she'll go, until she stops, and then she can rejoin us when she's calmed down. But she'll, every now and then she'll just go, and she'll just put the food all over the place, and I don't know what the shit I'm doing.
The first thing children learn how to do, okay? The very first thing is how to manipulate.
Yes, and what you allow teaches
I don't
her
care
what
who
she
they
can
are.
do.
So what do you do?
They manipulate you.
All three of y'all want to know what y'all do.
You can't. To me personally,
I never let mine through.
Like if she,
so
I would put my daughter in her little bounce thing in the doorway. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I put duct tape over her head.
No.
No, I'm joking. I didn't do that.
My daughter would get. I'd put her in her little bounce thing if she cried.
I kept her in the bathtub under the
But it's
water
just
for
like-
4 or 5
it's
minutes.
just like
and
those
she stopped
TikTok
moving,
videos.
and she didn't do it again.
Okay, it's just
she
like those,
stinks now.
It's
but
just like those TikTok videos where they're walking with the kid and they go through the doorway and they hit the door and they go, oh, like that, and the kid starts crying.
But why do they do that?
Because they're showing people like how manipulative children are.
Yeah.
Because
I told mine to suck it up all the time,
even though nothing fucking happened to the kid.
You can't you can't react to that kind of stuff.
And that's exactly
That's
what I
why
did.
they say when the kid falls, you don't go,
Exactly.
Just
you
act
just
like you
fucking
didn't
act
see
like
it.
nothing happened. Because if you watch a kid and you're not in the room, like say you got a camera set up,
They're looking for a
and
reaction.
they fall, they could pop the fuck out of themselves, and they just get up and they're like,
Keep going.
damn
Right.
it.
But if
You
you're
know, like-
there,
But if you're watching them,
We've gotten pretty good at that.
they will bawl
But
their
you'll still,
fucking brains out,
do
so you
stuff
can
that-
pamper them and you can give them hugs. They will manipulate the shit out
they
of you.
will.
be
You
like
let
the
'em.
lady in the cat video. Hey, Mom, I fell. Okay, there's a bandage. I'm
Right,
bleeding.
right.
Take 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So when did you start disciplining your kids?
With my son, he threw when he.
How many kids you got? 3?
I got 3. My son's like 41.
Right.
Yeah. So, but when he was a kid,
All of y'all look so young.
yeah. So
My
I
mom's
wish
favorite game
that
to play
I-
is You'll
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah,
Go
so,
live. Go play.
Suck
But
it
look,
up.
so we're in
Suck
the
it
market
up.
and same thing. He wanted something, so he fell out in the middle of the market. Right. I just
Keep
looked
walking.
I just looked at him, walked right out the door, kept my eye on him, walked out, and he's screaming.
And then he
then-
realized you weren't there.
Yeah.
You're
He
not
goes
there to
up-
react.
And then he's all like panicked and scared, and then he's really crying, right?
Yeah.
And I said, "So, are we okay?" Yeah, you got to ignore some of that stuff. You really do, because if you, like you said, if you let them manipulate you.
But what if they do something that's bad that what if they're
Don't
throwing
do the
their-
timeout thing.
Yeah,
That does not work. Don't
no.
do timeout
All right,
shit.
okay.
Like doing, but like the thing with the dog, right? That's what you're talking
Man,
about.
I hate that.
Because that's at
And
one-
Chelsea will say, she doesn't understand, and she probably doesn't. But I don't know where to progress to where she stopped. I don't know. I don't know what the shit I'm doing. I don't think most people do. And that's
Well, you figure it out as you go, but
Yeah.
what's like
I think my problem with my daughter, as far
I think
as
you got a good.
discipline
I think
goes-
all y'all have good kids. I'm trying to
Yeah.
not make my daughter a
Well, but mine-
serial killer.
Mine,
No, she's not
the
gonna
way
be
she,
and I'd rather her not see me splat her dog on the
Yeah.
well,
dining room
the way my
table.
daughter can manipulate, and I think it's because I would discipline her, and then 5 seconds later, I'm sorry for doing it.
yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
not
Like
good.
she learned the lesson, but then I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it.
Okay,
you
I
know,
didn't
like
do that.
I'm kissing her ass
I never
after I did it.
apologized
Yep.
for being a parent.
So,
I never
well,
did.
right.
Did you ever
Which you
think
shouldn't.
that you weren't
You
going to
should
be
not.
able to do it?
No, I always knew that. I mean, I was gonna always make sure she was.
Well, no,
taken
I
care
get
of.
that. But did you ever think that? Did you ever think that there was never a time where you were like, man, I don't think I can do this
Fuck
by
this."
myself.
No, I don't. I mean,
I had to
all
do it by
I
myself.
ever
It was okay.
wanted from was Daddy's little girl. I always wanted Daddy's
See,
little girl.
I'm similar, but man, it's rough, man.
But honestly,
is.
And there's
my
plenty
dad,
of,
yeah,
plenty of
it's
times
rough.
that'll try your patience and
Yeah.
try your ability to be like, whoo, I gotta go fucking sit
No,
down.
my dad raised me. He was very strict, but I know I was better because he was.
Exactly.
I hated my teenage years. I'll never go back to them, but I know
Oh, I was very strict.
I'm very strong. I'm very strong, and some of the way I am is because of him being like that with me, and I do respect it now.
But I would explain things to my daughter. Like I
My
planted.
dad wouldn't. My main thing was why, and he
Well,
wouldn't explain it.
He'd go
So
because
I
I said
planted-
so.
I planted a rose bush outside her bedroom window because I knew I was
Just
like,
bar the shit.
nobody's gonna come in that goddamn window. And then
That's
also,
pretty good, actually.
long thorns like this.
That's funny, man, that you thought that way.
yeah, I think about all that kind of shit. And then, I mean, I always would talk to her about certain things, like when she got her period for the first time.
Ooh, but that was rough.
She was in middle school. She called me, and it was the craziest thing. She didn't have to tell me what happened. She just said, "Can you come pick me up?" I said, "I'll be there in 5 minutes." And I went and I picked her up. And before I got a phone, I said, "Do you need me to bring you anything? Do you need a pair of pants? Do you need anything?" Because I didn't want her to be embarrassed. So, and she was like, "No, I'm good." And I just knew. So then when I brought her home, I said, "I'm going to go run to CVS. I'll get you some things that you can, use. I can't show you how to use them. You have to talk to your mother." But,
so her mother was still in the picture.
no. Her mother lived somewhere else, or her grandmother. She could talk to her too, but I couldn't show her how to use it. I mean, I could, but I was like, I don't want to get into that. No. So I went to.
Definitely
I
not
don't
one.
want to know how he knows
Plus,
how to show
plus,
her.
look. Let me tell you something. One of the
stick
best.
him in my butt when I'm at the fair sometimes.
Well, look, one of the best things we did. One of the best things we did was we sent her. There was a class at East Jefferson General Hospital. Listen, that taught her all the bees, birds and the bees talk, the how to use tampons and things like that. It was a class at East
He's by
Jefferson,
himself. There's no woman in the house.
and it taught her everything she needed.
I'm
to
gonna
know.
drop my daughter off at
It
the
was-
SPCA in a minute.
Dude, but it was like more
Get her
of
a kennel.
it was more of a non-personal training thing that she picked up on, and she
Right.
she retained it all. So I went to CVS and I bought I didn't know what to buy, so I bought one of each of every freaking thing on the shelf. Came home with these
Big
bags
bags.
of
Whichever
stuff.
one you like.
No, you know what I mean. And I dumped them all on the
Ben
bed, and I
Jerry's,
said,
Kit
"Look,
Kats,
go through
Skittles.
these. Whatever you feel like will work best for you, we'll buy that from now on." And then to hell with the rest of it. But that's how I got her
And
to
really
find
stay
out
away
what
from
was
boys
best
now.
for her. So I mean, there's things like that you can do. But like I said, that class that I sent her to, or that her grandmother actually sent her to, she got so much out of that class, and it was a
have that.
non-personal. I don't want to talk to my dad about
Right.
that. It wasn't that.
Man, I bet that's rough, dude. Doing it. Well, you had boys too. I bet
All
that's rough.
boys.
Well, but when
no,
it came to
I loved my boys. I was
No,
so
no, but
glad,
I mean-
I'm glad I didn't have daughters. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. And I
when it
live in
came
a
to
house with a
dating-
bunch of women now. So
when it came to dating, every guy she ever talked to was petrified of me, and I made sure it stayed that way.
Yeah, that should be the way.
Because
that
there was
way.
guys that I talked to, and I'm like as nice as could be, and I think
I got a
that's
couple kids in
partially
my
what
basement
scared the
right
shit out of
now.
him. And one kid I even talked to, and he was like, "Is there anything I can do?" And I was like, "Don't fuck up," just like that. And every guy that she ever talked to was paranoid. Like there was one kid who came over, and this is
Could
how
you imagine Frank coming to the door all tacked out?
No, I came to the door once when she had this guy come over to watch a movie.
Picture
on the
this
couch.
guy coming up.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's right.
Well, look, but my daughter. That's another thing I always told my daughter.
Yeah,
Don't ever tell the kids that I have firearms in the house. Things like that, because I don't want some teenage boy breaking into my house.
Oh,
or,
absolutely.
trying to get my shit. So I would.
and I have to kill him.
Yeah. So this boy came to the front door, okay, and I opened the door, and he just walks right in, and he goes and he sits down next to her on the couch. I said, okay. So I close the door, and I go stand in the kitchen, and I just stand in there.
Didn't speak.
Didn't say one word. Ooh. So I stand in there, and
No,
they're watching
boys,
a
don't
movie,
do that.
and about a half hour went by, and I texted Kelsey, and I said, it's time for me to go. And she was like, she comes in the kitchen, and she's like, what? What's the matter? What's the problem? And I said, he needs to go. It's late. And she said, but his mom didn't come to get him till 9. It was like 8:30. I said, well, I guess he's sitting on the porch for a half an hour. And she was like, why? What happened? I said,
That's what didn't happen.
she said, why didn't you shake his hand when he came in? I said, this is my house.
That's right.
I said, he didn't extend his hand to me.
That's right.
I said, it's not my job to extend my hand to him. And And then the next day there was an event at the school and we were in the gymnasium and this kid came from all the way on the other side of the gymnasium to me and was like, Mr. King, I just want to say hi. I'm sorry about last night and apologize.
Oh, that's good. That's how it should be.
And then there was another kid who I just pretty much, I was mad at my daughter at the time and he was like, Mr. King, how's it going? I said, you can leave. And he turned around, he went and got in his truck and he left.
Frank.
No, it was the only time my daughter ever lied to me. Okay. And she was parked in a park with this kid around the corner. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I called her. I said, where are you? She said, oh, I'm getting gas at the gas station. And I knew where she was.
Right.
Okay. So I said, get home now. So she said, why? I said, I'm not answering any questions. Get home.
That's right.
So I'm waiting in front of the
Don't answer questions.
Why you had a tracker on
in front of the garage, maybe. I'm waiting in front of the garage when he pulls up. Okay, and this kid's with her, and he's walking up with her, and she's like, "Hey, I didn't see you there." Like I startled her. I was just standing in front of the garage like this when she walked up, and this boy's with her, and she looks at me and she goes, "Hi. What do you mean we weren't at the gas station? What's going on?" Because I said, I know you weren't at the gas station, you know. And she's like, well, what do you mean? How'd you know that? I said, because I was at the gas station getting gas when I called you. And she was just like, oh, which wasn't true, but yeah. So, and then that's when I looked at the boy, because then after that exchange, he was like, Mr. King, how you doing? And I was like, you can go.
What was she doing?
She was parked in the park with this kid in his truck.
Goddamn kids.
I know, right? And let me tell you something. The girls are more aggressive than the boys.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Well, look,
They are.
let me tell you one good thing I did with my daughter as far as, and I learned this from my sister, my younger sister. They are going to do whatever they want to do anyway.
That's right.
Yes.
So all you can do is give them your opinion on things and how you don't want them to do certain things when they go where they're going to go.
That's true.
So my daughter would say, I want to go to this party, you know? And I would say, look, because we always had this thing, you could tell me anything. I said, you can, as long as you tell me the truth, you won't get in trouble. But you can't tell me the truth to get out of getting in trouble.
Yes.
Okay? So my daughter would tell me everything, okay? And she came to me once and said, Dad, I want to go to this party with my friend Lexi. And I said, okay. I said, what's going on? And she said, well, I just want to let you know there's going to be people smoking weed there, but I promise you I will not. And I said, okay, go ahead. I trust you. And that alone makes such an impact. She never touched any of that shit. And plus I would tell her things like, you know, if
and I'm
you're in your
terrified
car,
of that too, man. Drugs, people are. I mean, when I was growing up too, there wasn't all this shit cut with ketamine.
Yeah.
And all this other crap.
Oh, yeah,
Fentanyl.
dude.
well, but I told her stuff like, you know, if one little seed is in your car, you know, they can take your car, they can get, you know, take you to jail. I put the fear in her of that.
Yep.
So one time she had this kid sit in her passenger seat, and he was rolling a joint, and she said, "Get the fuck out of my car! I don't want to go to jail if there's one little seed in there." Now, I will say too, the relationship my daughter and I had, she valued our relationship so much. There was one time that I called her, and she was with this guy, and because I had noticed on the banking app that she had spent like $40 on pizza. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, so I call her. I'm like, who are you buying pizza for? Well, everybody was hungry. I said, so you spend my money to feed everybody else? What the hell is that? And she said, well, he's been working on his car. He really doesn't have any money. I said, well, you better tell that frickin' deadbeat, you know, mooch to buy his own goddamn pizza, you know? And apparently I was saying it loud enough that she was on the phone. He heard me. So she got off the phone with me after she said, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And he was like, fuck your dad, calling me a mooch. Yeah, listen, call me a mooch. I don't give a... And she
This
said...
is the first time he went to jail.
Well, look, she said, nobody talks about my dad like that. And she got up and left, never talked to the guy again.
That is one thing. You got to keep the respect from the kids. And my boys, they would even tell I could hear them on the patio, when you walk in here, you say yes ma'am and no ma'am to my mama. I can, before they bring people in, you got to say that here.
Right.
And you got to keep that respect. You got to keep it.
But there's those little things.
But you got to you can't just let them do what they want. They're not going to respect you.
Right.
Just like my kids, I always watch my wife interact with the girls. Because see, with me,
who's the good cop, bad cop?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'll tell them to do something once, and it's done. Because they know I'm not joking. With their mom, she'll tell them to do something, and they'll be okay. I got to do, and they won't move until her veins are sticking out of her neck.
Till they push those buttons.
And then when the veins are sticking out of her neck, then they know they don't realize they're in deep trouble. Then.
Well, that's why they tell you can't count. Like you can't say 1.
Oh, no.
2. Because then they know they have those. You're going to count, and they know they have that extra time
Exactly.
before you actually get pissed off.
So I guess I'm kind of like the bad cop, because I say, I'm not a bad cop. They love me. They know I love them. But just like with Ginger and the boys, I say it once. I'm only going to say it once.
And I know we used to get whipped as a kid. I mean, with a belt, leather belt. It had my dad's. It said Bubba on the back of it. It was my dad's leather belt. And I don't believe every kid needs to be whipped with a belt, but I know we did. I know my boys needed it.
Yep.
I don't mean every day, but they needed it sometimes, and it kept their ass in check. I'll know that. It kept us in check.
Well, you got every person in the world who doesn't have kids saying it's abuse.
Well, and you know
they
what?
Don't have kids.
Exactly.
I had that when the school started having problems with my 2 oldest. I said, "What did you do here? What was their discipline?" They said, "What?" I said, "What was their consequence? What happened? What are you talking about? We called you." I said, "Okay, he's punished at home for what he did, but there has to be a consequence here, or they're going to keep doing it." I said, "Paddling, we can't do that." I said, "I'll get an attorney to give you a letter. We can't do that." I said, "Well, then you're going to have a problem."
My friend
Yep.
Tommy struck out 3 times in one game. We were going to crucify him in my grandma's backyard. We were going to nail him to these boards, and my grandma came out and she was like, "Oh, what are you crucifying Tommy for?" we were going to give him money and dip or something, but
See, now that's one thing I used to do. With
we
my
had.
daughter,
Oh
where-
my God, I got to tell you this.
Well,
This
wait,
is a good
let me
one.
real quick.
Okay.
I used to bring my daughter on the way to school if she did something wrong, and I would say, "You know what?" I said, "Let's stop off at the principal's office. You can explain to him what you did." No, please, I don't want to do that. Because my dad used to get me with, "I'll come and beat you in front of your whole fucking class."
Exactly.
So that kind of stuff works too. Not the beating part, but saying, "Let's go talk to the principal. You can explain it to him, and maybe the whole school will find out that you did some shit you weren't supposed to do."
That's it.
And they get petrified of that kind of shit.
We were bad, man.
Yep.
We used to we tried
Sounds
to
like
crucify Tommy, but yeah, my buddy Scott, we had a friend that would do stuff for money, so we'd pull our money together, and we would.
There's a word for
We
that.
had a.
Bet you will eat this frog.
Like a oh, he
Sounds
ate
like my
lizards.
That's
cousin.
my son.
We
He
ate
would-
lizards and
he would
frogs in the
definitely
pool
do
and
that.
stuff. I jumped in my grandma's pool. We used to push lawnmowers and sit in there, and it was black. I jumped in there
Oh, my
one day, and I had an earache for
God.
3 years. Yeah. Anyway, he had a
Lucky that's all you had.
he had a cantaloupe tree in his backyard, and we had given him like $20, and we
Cantaloupes grow on trees?
I don't know. It was something big, like a tangerine or
Grapefruit.
something. It was hard though.
Grapefruit.
It was fucking hard, like a big softball. And my friend Scott, who was left-handed, had we were like 13. He had the best arm out of all of us.
He had an apple
And
bush.
He said, "All right, we're gonna give you like $15 and a can of dip if he can hit you in the chest with this cantaloupe." And he said, "All right," or tangerine, or whatever. He went, "All right." So
Almost gave him a heart
this is
attack.
before we had film. If we filmed it, we'd be millionaires by now. And so we're in his
The
backyard.
original Jackass.
And he said, right. Well, it was about that time. So we were doing that kind of shit. And he said, all right. And he got like this. And he got this tangerine cantaloupe. And he went, and he ran up. And threw it, bam, and hit him right in the forehead and knocked him unconscious. And he fell down. And we pushed him under the neighbor's fence. And we all left. But he, oh, man, that was fun. I remember that like it was yesterday. He ran up.
No wonder you're afraid of what your daughter's going to do.
Yeah, no shit.
He
Payback.
crow hopped. He took a hop on that
Payback.
right leg like he was coming from right field to home plate, and threw it, and I guess he released it a little too early, hit him right in the forehead, and knocked him unconscious, and he fell down. His body went limp, and we went, oh my God, we just killed Chris. And we pushed him under
We
the
killed
fence.
him.
You know what's funny, though, is how you brought up the whole crucifying thing. We did that to a guy.
We had these 2 boards, and we were going to nail his hands to these boards.
We did that to
Oh
a
my
guy, but we tied
Poor
him
grandma.
to it. We did that to him in a field. This guy Joey.
You crucified your friends
Listen. We put him on a crucifix, on a cross. Okay, tied him to it, and he started like shaking, trying to get out. His feet were like barely touching the ground, and we didn't know that this big log next to him had a hornet's nest in it.
Oh, I got
my God.
I got another one.
And everybody just went bees, and we took off running, and he's just on this freaking cross,
Stung the.
pulled it up out of the ground, and he's hopping away. He's stuck to this cross. But
The
yeah,
same kid who
Awful.
did that loved dip. So we would get people to buy us dip, and we'd we'd bribe them with dip, and we'd say, a friend Norman who lived with his grandparents, he had this big old hornet's nest above their garage, and we said, all right, look, this dip, go get it, threw the dip. And, he's an idiot. So he went running for the dip, and we threw a baseball, bam, and hit the hornet's nest, and like a waterfall. The hornets, they just fell like water.
Oh, my God.
And we thought we killed him, and we pushed him under the fence again and left.
That's awful.
Well, you see, all these people
We
who
hit him,
say,
wham, and the whole hornets like just fell like it was water.
well, look, all these
over.
people who say you shouldn't beat your kid or discipline
This
your
is
kids
what happens
with
when you don't.
Well, no.
They get
I'm
attacked by
saying-
hornets and crucified.
I'm saying they have no idea what kids
they're
do
bad.
to each other.
Yes,
they're bad.
That is
true.
so much worse than
Yes.
getting a beating.
Discipline, you're right.
Yeah, that's like when we used to play prisoners.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we our friends.
Play
You got to
prisoners?
be. Oh yeah, we got to, you. Some of us got to be wardens, and some got to be prisoners. We'd make them sing all kind of stuff, and we'd beat them with belts. and
That's why I'm.
if they tried to
kinda
break
glad I have a
out, we'd
girl.
chase them. And
See, we would go in the woods and play guns, but we always had one guy who'd bring a real BB gun, and we'd all be,
Hit you in
and
the
another
eye, you
guy
can't
who,
see for 6
well, and he would
months.
come in full camo, and the net over his face and everything, and he'd be hiding in a bush. You
guy's
didn't even
the
know he was there.
worst.
And then, you get hit with a friggin' BB. And then we had another guy, we'd play paintball, and he would freeze the paintballs.
Yep.
So when they hit you, they're, oh, God,
After
just
he kills one or
crazy
two,
shit. Well, yeah, hit you in the eye and friggin'. But anyway, the crazy shit that kids will come up with. Just like, riding bikes as kids, which kids really don't do nowadays that much. But we used to set up jumps that there's no way
Yep.
we would have made.
Yep.
Kids were like
Yeah.
limping back home because bikes all fucked up, But we didn't have any. The fear, like one time with a go-kart, right? This is the crazy fear of kids back in the day. This kid's driving a go-kart and it flipped on him, and he got road rash all over this. Just meat, okay, down to the meat. And he was crying his eyes out, and we were like, "Oh, does it hurt? Is it bad?" And he goes, "No, my dad's gonna kill me."
Yep.
He was more concerned about what his dad was gonna
Yeah.
do than fucking just meat hanging off his arm.
Yep.
It was crazy.
God, I miss being a kid. That's all gone though.
Yep.
I know.
There's
No,
no more
you don't
kids
see
doing
kids
that.
riding. Well, you do every now and then.
Nobody's
See kids
getting
riding bikes
crucified
every now and
anymore.
then.
It's all
Yeah,
it's all
nobody's doing anything
wussified
bad
now.
anymore. Like I can remember playing with army men even as a kid in this fresh load of sand my dad had dumped in front of the house, and I'd be digging trenches and pouring gasoline in them and woof, and lighting these little army men on fire.
Yep.
Where now, they don't let kids even. Oh, don't touch that glass, Johnny. You're gonna cut yourself. All that
Some
kind of
people
stupid
are like
shit.
that. Not me. I let my kids be rough and tough.
But
and do what they
nobody
gotta
was like
do.
that 50 years ago.
Liv. My dad's favorite game to play, like I told you, my mom's favorite game was, wait till your dad gets home. My dad's favorite game was don't make me get up.
Yep.
Don't make me get up. If I get up, that's it.
That's all. See, even in the truck. Okay, driving down in the truck. Even when little Derek was in his car seat.
Don't
You
make
got
me,
3 boys, huh?
Don't make
Yeah,
me
3.
pull over.
I had a
Well, did you want girls?
no, never.
You didn't want one?
I knew how we were. My daddy thought
How
we were
are you?
angels, and we were bad.
What do you do?
You
I
probably
used to sneak out of the house with my stepmom on the sofa.
think that about my daughter, huh?
No, I don't even know that much about her.
She's a sweetheart. I love her. Oh.
She's
Well, I
a
love mine
sweetheart.
too, but we were bad. My dad thought we were angels, and we were
Paul, quit watching porn in there.
bad.
Paul's beating off.
So
Yeah.
when you think she's such an angel, you better put them cameras up.
Yep.
But see, back then we didn't have cameras to get caught in doing stuff.
But you see,
Now
that's
you do.
That's another thing too. Is
I don't know if I want to see.
like my daughter. like I trusted my daughter, but you trust them to a certain level.
Exactly.
Yes.
You don't trust them implicitly. Like I wasn't like tracking my daughter constantly. You know, like every time she left, every time she went, I trusted a lot of what she said. But let me check that. Like one time I checked where she was, and she was at McDonald's up the street, right by a railroad crossing. It was 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, I call her. Where you at? Oh, we're at McDonald's. I said, 3:00 in the fucking morning? I said, stay right there. And then she saw my truck coming over the fucking railroad track. And she was like, oh,
Poor
shit,
thing.
he's mad. And so I said, who she was with her friend Gracie. And I was like, get in the truck right now. I said, does your mother know you're here? And she said, no. I said, do you think she'll be mad if she did? And she said, yeah. And I said,
Give me
you're
your money,
lucky-
I'm gonna
You're
tell
lucky
her.
if I don't tell her. So I mean, so she knew. She was like, "You always knew anyway, everything that was going on." So she never really kept anything from me. So,
But
So that's
still,
what I'm saying.
okay, you still have to have curfews. You're not supposed to be a certain.
Exactly.
If you're supposed to be home, have your ass home, and that's one thing
Well,
I
and-
have with Derek. They can be at my house or Jenny's, but you better be at my house or Jenny's, and you can stay up all night. I don't give a shit. You can have a
and
fire all night.
St. Charles
but-
Parish has a curfew
There you
for
go.
kids, and that's one of the things I told her. I'm like, if I have to come pick you up at a fucking police
Right,
station,
yeah,
you are in
no.
so much trouble.
you will lose.
So that's
everything.
when she was like, "Oh, I'm not staying out late anymore
Right.
because I don't want to get caught after curfew."
And that's another thing me and Jenny always question. We're like, okay, we have you
Jenny
can be at
and
my
I.
house or Jenny's house, but do these other kids not have a
Illiterate.
curfew?
Idiot.
Do these other kids not have curfews? So that's you got to worry about the rules that their friends have.
Well, yeah, I had that problem with my daughter because being a single
Or
dad,
lack of, I should say.
these parents would just drop their kids off at my house.
Yes,
and I'd have to
yes.
go outside and say, "Hey, I just want to let you know I'm a single dad. I'm here. I'm the only guy here," and they had no idea. I said, "If that makes you uncomfortable, you're more than welcome
Yeah.
to take your daughter, like on sleepovers and stuff like that." And then when they
Oh,
did,
I hate sleeper. I'm
when
not
they
doing
did come in
it.
the
I
house,
just tell them, look, I touch kids, so don't drop them off anywhere near me.
I'll
know,
sniff them.
Yeah.
when they
I'm not
did
doing
drop
any
them off-
sleepovers.
No.
I
I
would
can't
make
sleep
sure
as it is. If 50 of them are in my house,
Well, I
I'm
would
gonna
make
just put
sure
a
that-
sign. I'm a fake child molest myself. I'm gonna just go around the neighborhood. I'm gonna put that sign in my yard. I like, every now
Child
and
molester
then.
lives here.
I got video cameras looking up, so don't
Yep.
stick them anywhere near me.
Well,
My
when they
daughter's
would-
not even allowed in my house.
when they would drop when they would drop their
Yeah,
kids
no,
off.
no sleepovers.
I
for
would
me.
tell 'em, I would
like
say,
my
you-
shit too much. I don't want them touching my TV
Well,
and
I would-
lighting fires and.
Well, I
licking
would tell
stuff
them you
and-
have to come in
Throwing
with them.
lawnmowers in your
Ugh.
pool.
I would tell them you have to
I
come
had an earache
inside.
for 3 years.
When their parents came inside, I would have them write on this notebook their name, address, and phone number, so I can always be in touch with them if something ever happens. So I established this with these parents, and anytime I dropped my daughter off somewhere else, I went inside and I was like, "So where's your husband going to be tonight?" And I'm a single dad. I'm the only
That's
guy in the
awful,
house,
Frank.
and I would.
That's when she takes the robe off and said,
Well, no, but
And you
most
go,
of them.
He's at
fuck, now I
work.
got
But check this
to-
out. Most of them would tell me, "Oh, he's taking our son, and they're going to sleep at a hotel tonight."
What does that mean?
So most of them would
Wait,
take the kid.
the
Wait.
No, so the so
Hold on,
the-
we got. Hold on. A
So if they
second.
had
What the
like,
fuck did you just say?
if they had
He
like
took my son and they're gonna sleep at a hotel tonight.
their own son. So
Okay.
so no men would be in the house, is what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
when
man, that's fucking
when all these
weird.
girls
The
would be
W
sleeping
doesn't
over.
rent doubles to.
Well, I do know a man. He was a sheriff, and when his daughter would have sleepovers, he would not even stay at the house. He said that's the last thing. I
Oh,
need.
okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't-
Okay,
He
okay,
didn't want to be
okay.
accused of
So
anything.
so another thing
Yeah.
I would do is my daughter would all her friends and everybody would stay in the living room,
Yes.
and I would go in my bedroom and watch
Yes.
TV and do whatever. And I was
Right.
like, if y'all need me,
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
You
what
know
I
what?
do.
A friend of mine,
Lock
Blake,
myself
sent me
in
a picture of his kid because it was my daughter's birthday, and a kid in the tub. I said, "Man, don't fucking send me that. This like 1-year-old in a goddamn tub with no clothes on, you weirdo." He said, "Man, it's a baby." I said, "I don't fuck. If people are gonna arrest me, take my phone. There's
Yeah.
Kidding
Not-
porn.
Do you not follow your
Bathtub?
wife on Instagram?
fuck, yeah, I know. I don't let her. I don't because I don't want to go to jail. I don't even my own daughter taking back. When my daughter, I tell my daughter to put a bathing suit on every time she gets in the bathtub. She's
You're
learn
gonna have a
English
problem.
one way or
Yeah.
another. Ugh.
Yeah. Just
You ever been to
wait.
jail?
Not really.
Yeah.
Got to
Not really.
Officially. No, here's what I mean. My one time
Yes, clear this.
my buddy's brother used to print when you could counterfeit concert tickets, we'd all go to the municipal auditorium. But his silk screen went out, so we're gonna see Deep Purple. So we go like, oh, we go to the municipal auditorium, dude.
Counterfeit tickets to Deep Purple?
We could sneak in.
Jesus Christ.
We could sneak in early. So
We're
went
crucifying people in our backyards.
So we went in. So we
Counterfeit
go there.
Deep Purple tickets.
So we go into the municipal auditorium, right? Go upstairs. We're hiding out in all these little cubbies. We didn't think so. Right before the show starts, about an hour, about 2 hours, security guards come around. They didn't even come on, all you guys, come on out. Waiting. So we all go to Juvie, right? We call
I'm in love with a Juve.
So we call my buddy's dad.
We
We call Kenny's dad. He comes and gets us out. He says, "What do you guys do?" We're going back to the concert. So what we do, one of the brothers or somebody had a ticket, and at that time, they'd have people standing by all the doors. Somebody would push a door open and just bum rush the door. They couldn't stop everybody, and you'd get in and you just scatter. And that was it. He came and got us
You
out.
law-breaking son of a bitch.
I know, right?
We went back to
Man,
the concert.
that was the worst thing I did. I'd be nominated for some kind of award by now.
Well, we figured
I
out
did
that you
stuff, but just didn't get caught.
Oh,
we-
so you're better than me. See, I got caught all the time.
We
dude.
figured out that the perfect lighting with a blue background, you could take a Polaroid of yourself and laminate it, and we could draw to the T the driver's licenses.
Oh man,
And
that's
make
a good
fake
one.
IDs.
We made fake IDs for a minute.
But then you didn't have to make them. We figured out that if you had an older brother,
Mm-hmm.
you could just take his birth certificate and stuff like that and go in there and say, "This is me," and sign it and everything, and you get a driver's license with his
Your
name
own
on it,
picture.
but with your picture. But they stopped doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then
So-
they put the scanners on them.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, we
Then they
did
got
a lot
all
of good stuff.
It was like Catch Me If You Can. They got all the holograms and all that kind of shit on there.
yep, burning down. Like we got mad at this guy at a bar one time.
now we're talking.
You're talking about arson?
We tried.
we torched this fucking bar.
We tried, but we just caught the back.
Come
of
and
the
get us,
building on
coppers.
fire. Caught the back of the building on fire and kind of got in trouble for that one. Didn't call the cops, but my mom beat the living crap out of me.
I
for
got to
that.
plead the fifth. I was married in mafia style stuff.
Oh, you
Did
get
a
back
lot
in
of
with a beer
mafia
bottle.
stuff.
Oh yeah, so you know where all the bodies are buried. So
Ooh, I plead the fifth.
yeah, so
This was a long one. Jesus Christ.
Yep, my
Paul,
wife-
you got your work
shit.
cut out for you. I
Quarter
really
to
thought it
9.
was like an
yeah,
hour.
my wife's waiting out there now. She's
I'm
called
sorry.
me. That's
Guys, hey, this was a good one. This is one of my favorite ones. Just bullshitting. I love this fucking thing. I'm
Me
such an
too.
idiot.
I
love
love
doing this.
No, it's fun.
It
I
is.
love being with y'all. I do.
Well, I
It
mean,
is,
I
it is.
feel that if someone could walk away and learn something from our podcast.
Right.
Especially about being a parent.
Okay, well, I will add this. Let's talk about, just for a second, gun store etiquette. Please don't come in with a sass mouth. I just want to say that.
Yeah, don't come up with any load. We'll do this maybe next time, elaborated.
We
Maybe
let's
we'll
do
get
that.
back.
We barely talked about the incident with him.
No,
Aiden, the whole show was about it.
That's you never know where this fucking thing's gonna
But
go.
yeah, we're going to do a little etiquette
Yep.
session next time. Little
Yeah,
segment
no
on-
loaded guns either.
Gosh,
No.
keep your sass mouth girlfriend in the car.
No loaded guns. No loaded guns.
Don't come in here smelling like weed
And don't smoke
alcohol.
weed right before you come.
Dumbass.
Oh my God, I
That's
can't
the
believe
number one
that.
thing.
Do not.
No.
And some of y'all, like Devvin, can't smell shit.
I really can't.
I'm off and on. If I
I
take
could
a
smell
nose
it
spray,
tonight
I'm
though.
done.
I
I
could-
could.
Vince said.
I just walk in the door or into the store, and I'm like, somebody's smoking weed, and I'll say it loud as shit.
I'm sorry. 2 sinus surgeries. Sometimes I can't smell it.
I really can't either. But
Yep.
Vince came and got me tonight. He said,
Well, that's because he
"Oh,
heard
weed."
me tell
Yeah.
him.
Just yell at me. Just say weed.
No, I don't have a problem
Hey.
getting them out.
Hold this W.
You think weed will be legal for in the next few years?
Federally or statewide?
Even if it is legal,
You're not coming in
in
here
the
smelling
gun
like
store
it.
smelling like weed.
I-
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we've
Keep
had
your
people
ass
come
out.
in smelling like alcohol, and we've told them they had to
Same
leave.
thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
They walked in with daiquiris that day. Who was here?
Why
yeah,
people
that was
don't?
it.
Yes.
Why people
Like, what
don't
are you doing?
associate that
And then remember, I
the
checked
same
her on
way?
it,
I don't know.
and she goes, "No, it's my
No,
soda in
uh-huh,
here."
no,
Remember, she told me
get
it was
out.
soda.
How do they feel like you can't? Okay, so I can't go into the gun store. I'm drunk, but yet I'm fucking high as shit. I'm going.
Let's go
You know what I
shoot.
mean? Like, I don't understand how they feel like they can
JP
do
caught
one
that
way
guy
but not the
smoking
other.
a blunt outside
Out
in
the
line
door.
with everybody.
That's when I put on my badge that day and went out, and he was like, he left.
It's like,
Threw
come
my-
on, man.
Go like,
But we're gonna do that. We're gonna have some little
All right,
examples.
maybe the next one we'll do what not to do
Etiquette:
for starters.
pull your
Sounds
pants
good.
up. Stop fucking don't
Don't-
smoke weed before you come in.
don't piss
and
us
then
off.
don't when we tell you got to leave
Just go.
smoking weed and you leave and you come back in 5 minutes later smelling
Smelling
like
perfume.
Febreze.
It doesn't work.
Febreze and weed. Febreze and weed.
Oh, man.
You can't fucking
happens
get
a
it,
lot.
dude.
Yeah.
You can't. You're not walking out with a gun today.
His eyes are all red because he just sprays the shit all over. We'll do
right.
maybe the next one. We'll intro
Yeah,
with the what
we'll
not
do
to
that.
do.
Sounds good.
It was good to see you, brother. I'm glad
Same
you're
here,
doing
Man, I'm
right.
glad you're up and around.
Yeah.
That's right.
When you coming back?
Soon as they get a little bit more mobility in this arm.
How much
be back.
physical therapy are you gonna have?
6 months.
No, not that long.
If you ever want to come in, just answer the phones.
Yeah,
I'll
come
let
in.
you because
I'd be going fucking nuts, man.
That shit's gonna hurt.
that phone is driving us.
Well,
I had
it does
COVID.
hurt.
No, I'm saying
When I
the
had
physical
COVID,
therapy.
like 2
That's what I'm
days,
taking,
it
I'm
was
doing.
nice.
Oh.
But after 2 days, man, I'm losing my mind.
I hear you.
yeah,
You've
you
been
could
out
be
for like
like
6
Paul's
weeks.
mom. Comes in and answers the phone,
Yeah,
and
she
then
just
comes and
hangs
hands
out.
it to him. This guy's calling for this. I don't know what he.
Yeah, but she also brings good food though.
She does.
Yes,
Yes,
she does.
She does bring a
See,
whole
I
spread.
missed out on most of that.
That
She's
carrot
not.
cake
hey,
was
look,
the
she's,
bomb.
she's not bringing a crock pot with some beans in it.
No, I know.
She's bringing a fucking spread
Yeah, just like when
with
she made us
dessert. Two desserts mostly.
when she made us that fruit cake, man.
We gotta have a contest for listeners. Somebody that submits something or something. We gotta have a contest. Like
can
the
do that.
like the first 10 people to submit a question.
We can do so. I
Get
can come up with
something.
something good. I used to do stuff like that for the
Get the
for
discount
lodge.
on the range or something, or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to get the community involved.
Or a Glock hat.
Your first one had I mean it's not nothing compared to Mo, but we haven't advertised yet. It had like 600 views. We got like 70 or 80 subscribers.
I try to
I'm
get people to
happy, man.
subscribe every time they come through. So
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, well we'll think about that next time.
Yep.
Think about
I
something.
can
to do.
brainstorm. I'm good with that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
All right, I love y'all. It was
Love
good seeing you,
y'all.
man.
Same
It's
here.
fucking 2 hours.
I
Sorry,
know.
Paul. I totally. This room has something in it, man. That time just blows
Yeah,
by.
it
Yeah.
does.
And I used to do
not
radio.
AC.
It's great. It's good people. And good
Yeah,
news.
it was radio, man, and it sucked. I hated radio. It's commercials. You can't curse. You blah blah blah.
Right.
And it was that hour was days. I was
Days.
drowning at that radio station. All right.
All right.
Stay with us. Thank you.
Woo!
Next week, couple days. Keep subscribing. If you have any questions, comments, send them to the number 2 shots in podcast at gmail.com. And
We got
maybe the
those.
first 100 subscribers or something, we'll try to send them our first hats or t-shirts. Paul, we're making hats, but what about, did you say t-shirts we got coming?
Yeah, I want to work on t-shirts. I'm gonna get.
What about a tank top?
Yeah, I'm gonna
tank
get. I'm gonna get you a
top?
nice
Tank
tank top, nice tight tank top.
We got
Where they look like it's struggling.
new videos too of shooting machine gun.
Yeah, with some more videos of machine guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll focus on guns. We're spreading it around here. All right,
deal.
I'm Devin Burgess.
Ginger Janae.
Right, King.
Wilfred Davis.
And Paul Hambrice.
Wilfred, thank you for coming, brother. We'll see you next time, guys.
All right.
Later.
Oh, God, I cannot believe it's almost 9. We start like 6:30.
Yeah.
Holy shit.